Well, Bowling Green Volleyball is back to action beginning the 2026 season in Columbus here today, and how fitting it is to start with the Big Ten and with Ohio State, an always anticipated inter-Ohio matchup. The Buckeyes, in their first match of the season, look to start on the right foot, a home win and their own hosting invitational. As for the Falcons, well, their unit wants to beat the Buckeyes and take their fourth straight season opening match. Hello, everyone. Ben Korak here from the Falcon Media Sports Network. For all BGSU sports news and content, go to bgfalconmedia.com, BG Falcon Media on Instagram and Facebook, and BG_FMSN on X. It is fantastic to be back with you, talking you through Bowling Green Volleyball this season here from the Cavelli Center in Columbus, Ohio. As I mentioned, an always highly anticipated matchup. For previews, recaps, everything Bowling Green Volleyball and everything BGSU Athletics, those will all be on bgfalconmedia.com. We'll start with the end of last season for Bowling Green Volleyball. They finished 17-15 overall, 10-8 in Mid-American Conference play. They went into the Mid-American Conference tournament that they hosted, and as the 6th seed, they played the 3 seed Ohio and upset the 3 seed Ohio. They moved on to the semifinals, in which they lost to the Western Michigan Broncos. The Broncos went on to play Toledo in the championship, and the Rockets earned their first ever Mid-American Conference Volleyball Tournament championship last year, an underdog story to say the least. So the Falcons this year aiming, as they always do, for that Mid-American Conference Tournament championship and a berth in the NCAA tournament that Toledo, their rival, earned last year. Again, 17-15 overall, 10-8 in conference play. And on the road, the Falcons were just 5-8 with some pretty tough road competition. Their Power 4 opponents, as they start with Ohio State this year, included Kansas, Purdue, Georgia Tech, and Indiana, all in a row last year for the Falcons. Ohio State, not much of a season to speak of last year, 6-22. They finished in 2025, 3-17 in Big Ten play. Jen Flynn Oldenburg, their head coach, seeing her 7th season this season as head coach of the Buckeyes, missed the Big Ten tournament last year as the 16th of 18 teams in the Big Ten, the least overall wins in the Big Ten as well. Even the 2 teams below them, which I believe were Maryland and Rutgers, each of them had more overall wins than Ohio State. When she took over the team, Jen Flynn Oldenburg, actually, she finished 4th, 3rd, and then 3rd in the Big Ten the last 2 seasons, 14th and 16th. So it's a rebound year, hopefully, for Ohio State, who has reloaded pretty heavily. They had a couple of outgoing players, a couple of incoming players. Among the outgoing, redshirt freshman Kaya Castle, maybe the biggest one. She was 3rd on the team in kills as a middle blocker, a .211 hit percentage, 91 total blocks, which led the team, and she was 3rd total in points for the Buckeyes last season with 253. Another outside hitter, Reese Webker, she transferred to Virginia after last year. She was a sophomore, or she is a sophomore this year. 260 kills, good for 2nd on the team, 184 hit percentage, 14th aces on the season. That was 5th on the team, and 157 digs. She was a 6th rotation player for them and earned the 2nd most points for the Buckeyes last season. And of course, the defensive specialist and libero, Olivia Hasbrook, after her sophomore season transferred to Kansas. She was 1st on the team with 362 digs, 39 aces, which was 1st on the team, and 103 assists, which is 2nd on the team, and a pretty solid number for a libero. They attempted to replace those 3 outgoing transfers with transfer and then a couple of players from overseas. The transfer, Kali Gioshvili-Rava, a transfer from Texas Tech, where she played her freshman campaign, 303 kills. That was 1st for Texas Tech last season, 222 digs, a very good ratio of kills to digs, and she was only behind their libero in the dig category. 23 total blocks, proving she can play the front row as well. A 142 hitting percentage with improvement there, but a team-leading 335 points from Gioshvili-Rava last season for Texas Tech. She's the biggest addition to this Ohio State volleyball squad. Another addition, Naomi Govu. She played pro in France last season, so not much the Falcons have on her, but she's an outside hitter, probably going to play more on the left side. Along with one of the middle blockers who plays a little bit of both, Aneta Valentova. She played in a Czech Pro League last year, VK Kravolo-Pol. She's a freshman this season, so 2 back-to-back international players brought in for the Ohio State Buckeyes in an attempt to remedy the loss of a very solid middle blocker in Kaya Castle and a very good outside hitter and Reese Webker. Key players for them, Hannah Jones, which is their right side. She is a go-to for them, and she's going to be, in this first match of the season, a resting point for Ohio State, and their setter, Mia Tuman. She's an almost 1,000-assist setter from last season. Kali Gioshvili Rava, again, one to mention, going to play the left side most often, maybe soon to be a security blanket for this Ohio State squad. And Kelly McCauley, another outside hitter, just a sophomore, but a pretty solid freshman campaign, nearing 200 kills in her freshman season. The Falcons had a couple of departures as well. Lauren Hovey being the biggest one. She's playing pro in Switzerland. Jessica Andrews playing pro in France. Belle Albee, another one, a defensive specialist that's going to be a grad assistant, or she is a grad assistant at the University of Ohio in the Mid-American Conference. She'll be back to the Stroh Center later on this year when she travels with the Ohio Bobcats. But Lauren Hovey and Jessica Andrews were almost all Americans. They were very close. Hovey missing a lot of last season due to an injury. Jessica Andrews starting late, but being probably the most valuable player that played the entire season for the Falcons. So those are big holes to fill, but the Falcons have brought in quite a few new players in terms of freshmen and transfers. 2 transfers for Bowling Green. Molly Beatty, a setter, who's going to be vying with Amanda Otten for the setting job for the Falcons and really running the offense for head coach Alex Del Piombo. And Carly Molnow, one that might play on the right side quite a bit. She did an exhibition that the Falcons played last week Saturday against Gannon. She might be a pretty key piece for the Falcons on the right side, replacing Lauren Hovey, who leaves a massive hole on that right side for the Falcons. Vivian Jones, Anya Magir, Fatia Rovira, and Micaiah Turner, the other big additions for Bowling Green. Turner and Rovira will most likely not play today. Rovira, I believe, just got to the United States a couple of days ago, and she has not been cleared to play yet by the NCAA. But the Falcon Media Sports Network will keep you updated on our broadcasts, every single one, for Bowling Green Volleyball this season on WBGU 88.1 FM. Those two likely to not play, Anya Magir, Carly Molnow, Vivian Jones, and Molly Beatty probably all have an even chance to play today on a team that Alex Del Piombo, the head coach of Bowling Green Volleyball, has stressed is very deep this year and not as reliant on a couple of borderline All-Americans, as I mentioned before, Hovey and Andrews in the past. They're relying on some depth play, Bowling Green is this year, and their setter, who is back and fully healthy, Amanda Otten. She had a pretty solid year last year in the matches that she was able to play. 4th in overall assists in the Mid-American Conference, and that was missing about a week from Toledo match to Toledo match in the middle of last year. Amanda Otten missed that amount of time, still closing in on 900 assists total last season, 4th in the Mid-American Conference. She's one of the best setters in the MAC when she's out on the floor. Other key players for the Falcons include Avery Hobson. She was a preseason selection for the All-Mid-American Conference team, the first team that is, Avery Hobson. She was first team All-Mid-American Conference last year as well. She's an incredible player from the left side, trying to work on her defensive play a little bit, but the offense, no doubt there. Ava Buttlemeyer, a big name to mention for Bowling Green, one of the best athletes on the floor at any given time. She's improved a lot over the offseason. We'll see that today and going forward from this Falcon squad. And Ava Buttlemeyer, just a sophomore. And then the junior tandem of defensive specialists, Sydney Hernandez, who is the libero for this Falcons squad. She's been fantastic every year she's been at Bowling Green. She's going into her 3rd. Hernandez is with a lot of career digs under her belt. She's a very solid player for Bowling Green, but the partnership with her and Avery Anders really locks down that back row. And as Chelsea Carter and Alex Del Piombo have mentioned quite a few times in the preseason, they've made tremendous strides, as has the defense for Bowling Green. The starting lineups are out for Bowling Green. Sydney Hernandez is going to start as the libero. Cecily Wayner is going to make a start as middle blocker for the Falcons, alongside Helen Wilford in the middle, them replacing Jessica Andrews from last year, or at least a spot being filled there. Anastasia Bozic starting as an outside hitter, along with Carly Molnow and Avery Hobson to round out the pin hitters. And, of course, in the center of the court, Amanda Otten, the starting setter for Bowling Green. We're going to take a quick break as National Anthem coming up here in a few minutes. When we bring you back, we'll have Ohio State's starting lineup, and we'll walk you through Game 1 for Bowling Green Volleyball in the 2026 season. The Falcons and the Buckeyes coming up in just a few minutes.
Looking for a BGSU Athletics talk radio show? Tune into the Zig Zone every Sunday at 4 p.m., where a panel of Falcon Media Sports Network members discuss the hottest BG sports topics. Only on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Northwest Ohio's community radio station is looking for new volunteers just like you. Join our team of enthusiastic volunteers that help make WBGU 88.1 FM a success. You can get involved in many ways, including on-air, behind the scenes, or at promotional events in the local community. WBGU is Northwest Ohio's community radio station. Visit our social media pages for more information.
My life was going downhill fast. Everybody was on my case. Now, I kept hoping that life would change real soon. I knew drinking too much messed up my life. A friend suggested I check out AA. It worked. I found myself in an AA group. Finally, I've got my act together.
Visit AA.org for more information and download the Meeting Guide app to find a meeting near you.
Wake up every weekday with WBGU and The Morning Show. The Morning Show is a community resource for weekly events, news, sports, weather, interviews with community officials and organizations, birthday and anniversary announcements, and more. The Morning Show broadcasts live, Monday through Friday, from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. Listen live every weekday from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. locally on 88.1 FM or streaming online at bgfalconmedia.com.
Are you a fan of BG Falcon Media and the Falcon Media Sports Network? You can show your support for BGSU Student Media by donating at the bottom of the page of stories on bgfalconmedia.com.
This week's Falcon Media Sports Network Athlete of the Week is Bowling Green women's soccer senior defender and team captain Taylor Green. For all 3 games this season, Green has been a force on both sides of the ball. The senior leads the Falcons with 2 goals and 4 points, scoring 2 goals on just 3 shots. Green's biggest moment came against Oakland when she scored the game-winning goal in a 1-0 victory over the Golden Grizzlies. Her goal came in the 33rd minute, giving the Falcons the lead they would never give up. But Green's impact doesn't stop on the attacking end. As a key piece of the BGSU defense, she has helped the Falcons record 3 shutouts in their first 3 matches. Her performance also earned her MAC Defensive Player of the Week honors, the first such honor of her BGSU career. To read more about Taylor Green's performance, pick up a copy of the BG News and check out the story at bgfalconmedia.com, your home for all BGSU athletics news and updates.
The Bowling Green Falcon men's soccer team takes on the Indiana University Indianapolis Jaguars at Michael A. Carroll Stadium in Indiana on Friday, August 28th at 7 p.m. After the match, head on over to bgfalconmedia.com for a recap of the match. From Falcon Media Sports Network Soccer Beat, Jacob Kopash.
Mark Zaborny here, host of WBGU-FM's Jazz Unlimited. Listen to Jazz weekdays from 9 a.m. until noon with special live in-studio editions every Wednesday. I'll spin classic jazz standards and the latest jazz releases. That's Jazz Unlimited, weekdays from 9 until noon on Northwest Ohio's community radio station, WBGU 88.1 FM.
I guess I called AA because alcohol didn't work anymore. Drinking used to give me a sense of meaning in life. I called AA not knowing what to expect. Certainly not cheerfulness, but that's what I got. people had humor. They seemed to be at ease. I hung around. Now I feel much more comfortable with myself and the people around me.
Visit AA.org for more information and download the Meeting Guide app to find a meeting near you.
BGSU women's golf travels east to Youngstown State for the Roseanne Schwartz Invitational on Monday, August 31st. Afterwards, Falcon Media Sports Network's Kevin Hutchinson and Dan Ridenauer will have coverage of the event on bgfalconmedia.com, your home for all BGSU athletics, news, and updates.
On September 28, 2025, BGSU women's soccer's Lizzie Boltnick scored her first goal in 2 years in a 4-0 win over Central Michigan. She later earned a brace in the win. Falcon Media Sports Network's Henry Costco had the call of her first strike.
It's around Boltnick. Going to have a lot of space here on this side. She's going to be on the breakaway. The 2-on-1. Borgman has to get back towards the goal, and she's got to put it forward over the head of Borgman and in. Lizzie Boltnick. Unbelievable. Taking advantage of Borgman being up near the midfield line.
This has been a Falcon Media Sports Network feature call.
WBGU 88.1 FM, the home of live Falcon volleyball coverage.
Falcon Media Sports Network back here in the Cavelli Center in Columbus, Ohio. The Falcons and Falcon Volleyball in their first match of 2026, and it is against Ohio State on the Ohio State logo in the center of the Cavelli Center. Ben Korak here from the Falcon Media Sports Network as we're ready to get underway. Starting lineup for the Ohio State Buckeyes: Naomi Govou, a Lyon, France native and an outside hitter; Aaliyah Schoonover, one of the pin hitters and doubling as a middle blocker, and just a freshman for this Ohio State squad; Mia Tumen, the setter, starting for the Buckeyes; Callie Gioshvili-Rava, the sophomore transfer outside hitter; Emily Avshalomoff, the freshman libero; Hannah Jones, the pin hitter as well, going to play on the right side; and Aneta Valentova, the middle blocker. Ohio State under the head coaching of Jen Flynn Oldenburg in their 7th season. The Falcons under the head coaching of Alex Del Piombo, her 2nd season as the head coach of Falcon Volleyball, but she was an assistant and an associate from 2016 through 2024 when she took the role from previous head coach Daniela Tomic, now at Cincinnati. Ohio State takes the serve first. They're wearing their gray jerseys and their libero wearing the scarlet. The Falcons in their brown today as they were commanded to wear dark. And the first point goes to the Falcons on a service error from Mia Tumen, the setter. Avery Hobson will take the first serve for the Falcons. As I mentioned, wearing their brown jerseys, a new look for Bowling Green this year, tall white socks, as they're going to use with most of their uniforms, I imagine. Could be a superstitious thing as well, and we'll see as the season progresses. But in 3 years of covering the team, I have not ever noticed them wearing tall white socks. So a new look for the Falcons. Hobson leaves her serve long, and now it's back to Ohio State in a 1-1 tie. This one into the net, and we're trading service errors back and forth. That one was from Naomi Govou. She, a member of the French national team, international student, coming in as a junior. Imagine that means she attended and played volleyball at a school in France, and thus only has 2 years of eligibility, but this is her first year in NCAA. Ball kept up, Otten with it. Here's Bozic, she fires it to the back row, peeled up. Now a back row attack, and it rolls in front of the Falcons. Govou, the first clean point of the match. Ohio State ties it up at 2. Amanda Otten caught on the back row there for the Falcons. Her feet, like they were caught in cement, just had to lay her hand forward. Avshalomoff, the libero, to serve from the left side. Targets Helen Wilford. That's shallow and wide of the right side of the Falcon court. And Bowling Green's going to take a lead back. Avery Anders will step in the match. Carly Molnow will come out for Bowling Green. She's a transfer from Loyola Chicago, whom the Falcons played last year. So she competed against Bowling Green, 12 kills in the match that she played against the Falcons, and now she's to the Stroh Center and the orange and brown. Peeled up on the back row, Tuman centers one, a deep strike into the net off of the defensive play from the Falcons, and it'll fall down on Bowling Green's side. Govu, I believe, will get credit for that kill. And it was Hobson again on the back row. The serve from Hannah Jones, a very physical right side for the Buckeyes. Otten to the left side, clean swing, Falcons. Bozic is kept up. Now a left side attack. Did she catch the hands? She missed wide. She did not get the blocker's hands of Bowling Green. A left side attack from Kali Gioshvili-Rava missed the court. The Falcons maintain a 1-point lead. Bozic, 10 aces, 16 service errors last season. She serves it, tapes it, it rolls over. Tuman from the middle of the court, to her middle, Schoonover, who forces it through the Falcon blockers and down on the Buckeye logo center court. 4-4 here in set number 1 at the Cavelli Center and Columbus, Ohio. Bowling Green and Ohio State both in their first matches of the 2026 season. Serve from Gioshvili-Rava targets Anders on the back row. The Falcons get a swing, but it's kept up. Tuman, the setter for Ohio State, resets. Now back to the Falcons on a good keep up. Hobson with a full swing. Big block right side. Tuman and Schoonover, the right side of their court, say no to Avery Hobson, and Ohio State takes the lead 5-4. I believe that's their first lead of the match, their first lead of the season. Gioshvili-Rava high in the air, a spinning serve. That gets Bozic, who's very nice on the back row. Bozic is bump set to the left side. Govu missed, and it falls in the court. Bowling Green with a block there. It was Otten and Wilford, I believe, on that right side. Cecily Weiner in the game now. Hernandez has completed her rotations through the backcourt. Weiner plays her first set in the orange and brown, her third year in. Middle attack, block attempt, Weiner and Hobson, and the point to the Falcons. They lead 6-5. That'll be a tandem block and a block assist for Cecily Weiner as her first half point and her first stat recorded as a Falcon. Congratulations to Cess, who's been here for a while, a redshirt sophomore from Amherst, Ohio. There's a nice serve. Helen Wilford knuckles it in, down in front of Govu. The Paris, France native couldn't get there in time. Wilford will gain her ace. That's just her first career ace in the orange and brown. Peeled up, overpass to Hobson. She throws it down. And the first set, the Falcons lead 8-5. A good start for Bowling Green. Back to Wilford, third serve in a row for the first time for any player today. On the left side, behind the serve stripe for Bowling Green, targets Govu again. Tuman back to Govu, left side, big block! Otten and Weiner! That's a good tandem right there. They've combined for two, and the Falcons force Ohio State to call a timeout. 9-5, Bowling Green leads Ohio State. First match of the season and a solid start for the Falcons. You're listening to Falcon Volleyball here on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Hi, this is Christina Ricci with RAIN. Every 2 minutes, another American is sexually assaulted. If you or someone you know has been sexually assaulted, you are not alone. Help is just a call or click away through the National Sexual Assault Hotline. Please call 1-800-656-HOPE, that's HOPE, or visit RAIN.org, that's RAINN.org.
Brought to you by RAIN and this station.
BG Authors is a campus organization dedicated to highlighting authors connected to the university. BGSU has produced some amazing authors, including Beth Macy, James Baldwin, and Tim Conway, to name a few. Visit bgauthors.com and subscribe to the blog that regularly updates on new releases, classics, non-BGSU authors, and other features such as book versus movie. That's BG Authors at bgauthors.com.
Now back to more Falcon volleyball coverage on WBGU 88.1 FM.
The ball back in the hands of Helen Wilford of the Falcons, the middle blocker back behind the line. She serves again targets Govu of Ohio State. Gioshvili Rava with her swing from the right side, and Wilford was caught on the back row. Always a tough predicament when you get a middle blocker caught on that back row rotation. She had a successful service try. The Falcons have been targeting Govu on the left side of the court quite a bit. We'll see if they continue. Otten to Wayner. Wayner, her first attack as a Falcon, is kept up by Ohio State. An overpass back to Ohio State, and they shove it back over. Came back to the Falcons on an overpass. They couldn't center themselves enough to get a swing off, and the joust at the net won by Schoonover. She's got 2 kills leading the match so far. Only 1 for the Falcons, but they lead 9-7, now 10, as a service error flies long for the Buckeyes. Otten will go back to serve. 21 aces, 35 errors last season. 8th in the rally scoring era in 2024 in service aces in a season with 38. Last season bit down for her, but she missed quite a bit of time. She takes her first error of the season there. It's 10-8, Bowling Green leads. First to 25, win by 2 the first 4 sets, and then a 15-point 5th set if it comes down to it. Miscommunication there between Otten and her hitters. She had Wayner and Carly Molnau in the middle. Looked like a fake from Wayner, the actual middle blocker, and then Molnau in the middle of the net. And she just missed the set a bit high for her jump. Tooman serves, targets Hobson, an overpass, and it's upped for Ohio State. Tooman to the left side. Govu couldn't get it past. Now Otten back to Hobson. Hobson with the swing, blocked up at the net. Settled down by Ohio State. Right side attack, Hannah Jones, and defensive play by Bozic. Bozic a back row attack, picking up her volley. Bump set to Jones, back right side, Ohio State. The Falcons can't handle it. It's into the Ohio State student section, and Hannah Jones gets her first kill of the match and of the season. 1 for 4 is the go-to hitter for Ohio State. 342 kills last season led Ohio State from Hannah Jones. As a junior, she's a senior now, played her first 2 seasons at Memphis. Carly Molnau, right side attack, missed the court long, missed hands of the blockers as well. And the score 11-10. Ohio State has gone on a 3-point rally. All on the serve of Mia Tooman, the senior North Allegheny High School, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania native, serves to the back left. Big swing right side from Avery Hobson. Bozic had to play it back of the court. Now Molnau throws it down. Left side from Carly Molnau. Hobson and Molnau switch sides on that play. Normally Hobson from the left, Molnau from the right, but it's been rotating for the Falcons, and they're displaying that depth that Del Piombo and Chelsea Carter and Alexa Warden have talked about in the preseason. Mia Tooman has to bump set. It hits the net on its way out, and thus it skips wide to the sideline. No successful attack for Hannah Jones, that time from the left. She swung from both sides pretty evenly. Takes her first attack error of the season. Hobson targets back, got the back line. A beautiful high arcing serve from Avery Hobson. The Falcons up 13-11. Right on the back white line, just inside the black of the Terraflex court here in the Cavelli Center, and might have caught some of the wood paneling as well. Poked over, the Falcons try and keep it up. Otten with the leg, a swing, but couldn't kick it over the net. 3 touches and a down for Ohio State. It's 13-12. Back to Naomi Govu, the junior, in her first season of NCAA volleyball. Right side of the serve stripe. Up in the air, serves it down the line to Bozic, who digs it out. Molnau tries, misses the court wide. Not a lot of blocker and outs for Bowling Green or for Ohio State yet. It's 13 all. The blockers have been pretty stuff or nothing. But blockers haven't factored in too much here in the first set. Just a couple of nice ones from Amanda Otten and Cecily Wayner. Now Wayner gets an attack in the middle. That one off the block in the middle of the court and down. She gives the Falcons a 1-point lead as she checks out for Sydney Hernandez. Hernandez, the best server on the team last year for the Falcons, 41 aces. Dug out from outside of the field of play. It's bump set to Hannah Jones, a big spike. Now Wilford trying for an assist. Mole now nails it down and gives Wilford an assist on that. The middle blocker centered herself under a high arcing set to Carly Molnow, and Molnow gives the Falcons a 15-13 lead. Middle of set number 1, the Falcons lead by 2 points over the Ohio State Buckeyes here in the Jim Stone Challenge at the Covelli Center in Columbus, Ohio. You're listening to WBGU 88.1 FM.
Unlike other local sources, Falcon Media Sports Network and BG Falcon Media will never charge a paywall to view our content. However, if you are looking to support student media, you can donate at the bottom of our stories on bgfalconmedia.com.
If you're already awake between 4 and 6 a.m., you may as well have a good time. Check out Early Bird Oldies, playing all the hit music of a different generation on Northwest Ohio's community radio station, WBGU. Don't forget to listen to the morning show immediately following Early Bird Oldies every weekday, right here on Northwest Ohio's community radio station, WBGU 88.1 FM.
You are listening to Falcon Volleyball on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Hernandez back with the ball. She stands on the Buckeye script on the Terraflex court here in the Covelli Center. A mostly black court. There's gray surrounded Buckeye plants in the corner. The script reads Buckeyes in red and white, scarlet and white, I guess the true color is. The actual playing surface is faux wood paneled and a big Ohio State logo in the center of it. Falcons try an overpass. They have to dump it back over. After an overpass from Ohio State, Hannah Jones gets one. The Falcons tip off the block. Mole now back to Bozic, and she's stuffed. Schoonover and Jones on the right side. Think it was mostly Schoonover. She leads the match in points. That's her second block assist. 3 total points for her. 15-14. The Buckeyes trail. Avshalomov, the libero, serves. Otten centers left side. Bozic gets blocked but falls outside of the field of play. A nice block it was by Schoonover and Jones again on that right side. Pressed their hands over at the right time, but just off the side of the hand, possibly of Hannah Jones, and outside the court. Avery Anders on as Molnow subs off. Anders targets Govu on the back row again. This one's nailed down, middle attack. Schoonover, she's been impressive. The freshman Aaliyah Schoonover making her mark in her first match as a Buckeye. 16-15, the Falcons lead. All Ohio third team as a high schooler from Delaware, Ohio. The Falcons have to dump it over. It's back to Ohio State. Tuman for the middle, perfectly placed again by Schoonover. She and Tuman are working wonders for the Buckeyes right now. 4 kills on 5 attacks. A block assist as well from Schoonover. I think she might have had one more that's not registered right now. Hobson perfect to Otten. Otten goes for the setter swing, and she nails it down. That's her first of probably many attacks on that left-hand swing. She does such a good job of facilitating offense, but also generating offense. Amanda Otten does. 90 kills last year in 98 sets, almost a kill per set. And she missed probably about 25 to 30 sets during the time she was injured mid-season. Anders to Otten to Hobson, off Jones and out of play. A solid strike from Hobson on the left side, centered by Otten, who had her feet under her. 18-16. That's something worth mentioning as well for this Falcons squad. A lot of losses last season directly correlated to back row play, and it's looked more solid in the early goings, maybe slightly sloppy on serve receive. Left side attack, Kali Gioshvili-Rava is not able to be handled by Bozic. A very strong right hand from the pin hitter. As we mentioned before, the transfer from Texas Tech, she was the best player on Texas Tech, almost inarguably. Led the team in kills, total attacks, and points, and she was second in digs. So she did it all. She's a sixth rotation player. She transferred just after her freshman season, and Ohio State's got her for maybe 3. Now Govu from the left side, and the Falcons couldn't dive in and handle it. It was Anders on the back row, and Govu with the tip ties it up at 18. She's got her 6th attack, just her 2nd kill, tying the amount of 8 errors she has. Here's a serve from the back row, sails long. Bella Humphrey, the junior defensive specialist, played only 32 sets last season. Only 8 digs, 4 aces, and 12 errors. More of a placement serve specialist was Bella Humphrey in the game now, marking her first set. And a service error given back to Ohio State. Brings it back to 19 all. Middle blocker Schoonover will go back. Wilford, who is serving, will check out. Hernandez will step in to start her 3-spot rotation. Anders to Otten. Otten left side. Hobson off the block. Ohio State very athletic to keep it up. That was back row. Humphrey did a phenomenal job. Otten 4-set to Hobson. Hobson off the block. And the point to Ohio State. Fell in the field of play, said the linesman. And looks like the Falcons are going to take a timeout. 20-19, Ohio State leads, just 5 points away from taking their first set of 2026. You're listening to Falcon Volleyball here on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Bowling Green men's soccer takes on the Wake Forest Demon Deacons at Cochran Stadium on Monday, August 31st at 6 p.m. Head on over to bgfalconmedia.com after the game for a recap by Brady McAlexander and a sidebar by Nathan Burkett. Falcon Media Sports Network, your home for all BGSU athletics, news, and updates.
Tom has been a teacher for over 40 years. One day, I think one of the students had asked the question and he didn't remember the answer. And I also noticed that he was letting his class out earlier than they were supposed to let out. I was really starting to worry.
Levi and I talked about how it would change our lives, but he was there beside me.
When something feels different, it could be Alzheimer's. Now is the time to talk. Visit alz.org/ourstories to learn more. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Ben Korak, Andrew Smith, and the Falcon Media Sports Network crew covering the Falcon volleyball team.
Head coach Jen Flynn Oldenburg and her Buckeyes have a 20-19 lead here in the first set. Schoonover, their middle blocker, serving. Bozic digs it out. Otten sets up left side. Hobson down the line, and she finds the floor. A very nice attack from Avery Hobson, who's looked very good here in the first set. She's got 8 attacks. 3 have seen their way through. 2 attacking errors. But she's looked very confident with the way she's swinging, much better than the way she ended the 2025 season. It's tied up at 20. First to 5, win by 2 basically from this point in the first set of the match. Govu left side. Her feet were not under her. She got it through, but it's a dump ball back from Bowling Green. Hannah Jones, back row attack, landed outside the corner. The back left corner of the Falcon court. Hannah Jones just missed, and the Falcons have the advantage in the serve. Otten with the ball. She's got it right side of the serve stripe. Targets Govu again. Perfect to Tumen. Middle attack. Blocked by the Falcons. Valentova rejected by the Falcon middle. 22-20. And Ohio State will be forced to take a timeout. They want to talk things over. We'll stay with you through this timeout. That's just a minute in the middle of sets. 22-20, the Falcons lead. That blocking for Bowling Green, doing a very nice job. 9 blocking assists. That's 4.5 total blocks for Bowling Green. Compare that to Ohio State, who may have had more flashy blocks, but they just have 6 total block assists, which is 3 total blocks for the Buckeyes here in the first set. 4.5 total for the Falcons in the first is a very nice number. 3 of them assists from Cecily Wayner, 2 from Amanda Otten, who's always a blocking fiend, and then Hobson, Molnau, and Wilford have 1 each. And that's basically been the difference in the set so far. Those 3 blocking assists can contribute to those 2 points. Also, the Falcons with 2 aces, 3 service errors. Well, compare that to the Buckeyes, 0 aces and 5 service errors. They have not played clean in this first set, to say the least. The Falcons with a 2-point lead, 3 points away from taking set number 1. The Cavelli center, arms in the air, and the O as Otten serves. Govu off of her arms, back row attack. Jones off the block. She likes to go off the hands of the blockers. She caught the blockers middle court that time on the back row attack, and that falls long out of play. So 22-21 off the touch. Hannah Jones, perfectly placed ball. Mia Tooman, the setter, who led off the match with her serve. Got one here. Hobson can handle it. Bozic off the block, spins it out the side. 23-21. The Falcons back up, leading 2. Jones and Valentova in the front, along with Govu, Tooman, Avshalamov, and Humphrey on the back row. Pretty solid defenders. Back to Govu from the right side. A blast is kept up. Otten, back row attack. Hobson tries to spin it in. Tooman is there. A set from the back row by the libero. A try. Did it miss the hands? It did. Attack right side from Govu. And it sets up a Falcon set point. 24-21, the Falcons lead. Avery Hobson to serve. Ball on the right side of the serve strike. Moves in past the Buckeye script. Targets Avshalamov. Now to the middle, off the block. Molnau keeps it up. Now she takes a swing. Blocked and on the Ohio State side. The Falcons take set number 1 on the attack from Carly Molnau. And Bowling Green leads going into set 2. A 25-21 first set victory for Bowling Green and a solid start to the 2026 season. Back with you in about a couple of minutes here on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Falcon Media Sports Network writes and publishes over 1,000 stories per year, including game previews, recaps, sidebars, opinion pieces, feature stories, and more. Head over to bgfalconmedia.com to view all of our content for every sport throughout the year.
Some people won't give you the real talk on drugs, but it's time we know the facts. Fentanyl is killing people. It's a powerful opioid, often made illegally and commonly mixed with illicit drugs. It can even be pressed into counterfeit pills that resemble prescription medications. Just 2 milligrams, about the size of a few grains of sand, can potentially be lethal. This isn't an ad to scare you, but it is an ad to make you think twice. Get the facts. Go to realdealonfentanyl.com. This message is brought to you by the Ad Council.
This week's Falcon Media Sports Network Athlete of the Week is Bowling Green women's soccer senior defender and team captain Taylor Green. For all 3 games this season, Green has been a force on both sides of the ball. The senior leads the Falcons with 2 goals and 4 points, scoring 2 goals on just 3 shots. Green's biggest moment came against Oakland when she scored the game-winning goal in a 1-0 victory over the Golden Grizzlies. Her goal came in the 33rd minute, giving the Falcons the lead they would never give up. But Green's impact doesn't stop on the attacking end. As a key piece of the BGSU defense, she has helped the Falcons record 3 shutouts in their first 3 matches. Her performance also earned her MAC Defensive Player of the Week honors, the first such honor of her BGSU career. To read more about Taylor Green's performance, pick up a copy of the BG News and check out the story at bgfalconmedia.com, your home for all BGSU athletics news and updates.
Now back to more Falcon volleyball coverage on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Won the first set 25-21 on the kill from Carly Molnau on the right side. A very solid start for the Falcons to the 2026 season. They lead the Buckeyes on the Buckeyes home court in the Cavelli Center. Ben Korak here from the Falcon Media Sports Network. For all BGSU sports news and content, go to bgfalconmedia.com, BG Falcon Media on Facebook and Instagram, and BG_FMSN on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it today. A new rule that seems to have changed in the scape of NCAA volleyball. The Falcons, who served left to right across your radio dial in the first set, will serve left to right across your radio dial on the second set as well. They will switch sides of the court for the third and fourth set if the fourth set is needed. And then the fifth set, they will, as always, change back and forth after the 8th point in the 15-point fifth set. So the Falcons still serving left-right. They have the advantage 1-0. Earlier today, Northern Kentucky beat Fresno State in 5 sets. Those are the other two teams in this Jim Stone Challenge this weekend. Bowling Green will play Northern Kentucky tomorrow. Ohio State will play Fresno State tomorrow. And then the Falcons will play Fresno State Sunday. And Ohio State will play Northern Kentucky on Sunday. The Bowling Green matches will be broadcast WBGU 88.1 FM, 1 p.m. tomorrow and 11 a.m. on Sunday. So listen to some morning volleyball on Sunday. Amanda Otten wearing the wrong jersey, and she gets an ace. 16 is her number. 1 is the amount of aces she has in this game. A very nice start to the second set. Normally wearing number 11 is Amanda Otten. I'll have to ask her after the game today what happened to her 2-stick jersey. Here's Otten from the right side again. Targets the same side, keeping it on the right side of the court. Gioshvili Rava thunders it through. A big right hand from the left side. Tough for blockers to keep track of if you have an approach blocking toward these hitters. Hannah Jones, Naomi Govu, and Kali Gioshvili Rava. They have rotated back from the left and the right side quite a bit. Tough to keep an approach. Wayner off the block. Otten back to Carly Molnau in the middle of the court, and she fires it past a Buckeye. 2-1, the Falcons lead. Avery Hobson will go back to serve. Carly Molnau might be a big piece of Falcons' success this season. Most likely will be. She only exits the floor in the back row. She's a pretty solid defensive player overall, but a fine blocker, a very solid attacker as well. The Falcons block stands tall on the left side. Now to the right side. Down that side, Gioshvili Rava again. She's firing that line pretty cleanly. Blockers couldn't get over there in time. And you see Mia Tuman switch directions. Sets one to the right side, off the block, back to Ohio State. Then she sets one to the left. And the Falcon blocker's not there in time. Bozic rips one past the libero, Avshalomov. And the Falcons bring one back. It's a 1-point lead for Bowling Green. Amanda Otten with 8 assists so far, 1 each for Helen Wilford, Avery Hobson, and Cecily Wayner. Mia Tuman with 11 assists, 1 from Naomi Govu and another from Avshalomov, the libero, on an Ohio State Buckeye team that's technically outswinging the Falcons, but lost the first set. Govu middle attack, big block. That was Bozic. She does everything. 6 rotations for Bowling Green. She's had a couple of block tries in the match so far, but that one a successful block. We'll see if they give her a solo. Doesn't look like they will. Hernandez dug out. Tuman to the left side. Gioshvili Rava they have no answer for. That's another one to the left, and she fires it right through Wilford and Molnau. And you see Alex Del Piombo and Chelsea Carter discussing just that on the Falcon bench right now. 4-3, Falcons lead 1. Gioshvili Rava's serve into the net. She's from Cannes, France. Again, a transfer from Texas Tech. Led the team in kills, attacks, points, second in digs. Also led Texas Tech in double-doubles. and total double-digit kill matches. She had 13 of those across the season and 10 double-doubles. Impressive marks for her. Hannah Jones kept up nicely by Hobson, athletically on the back row. Bozic, big swing. Jones slides to keep it up. Tumen to the left side. Govu, perfect pass. Otten pushes it back to Ohio State, a free ball. A set from Jones. Govu again. She's stuffed. Otten and Wilford right side. More blocking assists from the Falcons. 4.5 blocks in the first set. They have added 4 blocking assists already, 2 total blocks, and we're only playing the 10th point here in the second. A laser beam serve. Tumen to the middle, kept up on a kind of a set by Hernandez. Bozic to poke off the block, keeps it by Tumen and Schoonover on the Falcon side, and it'll fall in the Falcon shoelaces. Bowling Green's 6-4. Aaliyah Schoonover will serve left side of the serve stripe. Hernandez to Otten. Setter dump, kept up. Schoonover hit the floor but didn't get a touch. That was Valentova that kept it up. Now to the Falcons. Bozic off the block. Jones with 2 hands. Now back. The whistle blows. Play is stopped. And the point goes to the Falcons, a net violation against the Buckeyes. Buckeyes hitting just 119. That's 15 kills, 10 errors, 42 attacks. They have more attacks, more kills than the Falcons, but also 4 more errors. And they're hitting quite a bit less. Now under 100 after that attack error is given to Valentova. Govu digs it out, perfect to Tumen. Back set, on a slide, Valentova fires it through. Anders and Bozic. First time we've seen a slide today from Ohio State. Impressive one it was from Aneta Valentova. She's a freshman from the Czech Republic, 6'3", very physical. Represented the Czech Republic in 2022, U17 Euro champs, played pro for some years in the Czech Republic as well. Hobson wanted a touch. Did she get it? She did not. And missed the Ohio State blockers and went wide on a cross-court attack. Hobson currently 3 for 10, 3 errors to go along. 4 digs though, an ace and an assist. She's done it all and pretty confidently. Otten out of position. Sets to Hobson, not the strongest hit. Now an overpass from the Falcons. Dumped back over, now back to Bowling Green. Hobson left side. She's blocked, falls outside the side strike. Falcons, another successful swing off the block. They've utilized that quite a lot. 8-6 Bowling Green leads in the second set. Won the first set 25-21. Wilford in the brown jersey. Up to Tumen, back sets. Gioshvili Rava centers herself under it. She had to chop her feet about 5 or 6 times to get a clean swing. But she adjusted herself so well. So now within 1, Govu will check out. Bella Humphrey will come in wearing number 1. Defensive specialist, not a libero for Ohio State. Anders digs it out. Otten from the front, middle to Weiner. She thunders it through. Very nice attacks from Cecily Weiner. She's 2 for 4, no errors, and 3 blocking assists. A successful first go at it for the redshirt sophomore. Didn't play any last season. Redshirted her freshman season. So she's in her 3rd season, and this is just her 2nd set played. Tumen, back sets, right side, Hannah Jones. And Otten couldn't defensively keep it alive. She was caught backpedaling. It was up a bit high, tried to set to keep the ball alive. Nobody was where the ball landed anyway, and it wasn't high enough in the air for the Falcons to circle under. I have Shalamov, Hadera Israel native, a freshman as well. Pretty confidently the libero for Ohio State. Beautiful dig by Hernandez. Otten sets up, back row attack. Bozic kept up, Humphrey back row. Ohio State with a swing. Jones now back to Bowling Green. Left side, Hobson kept up nicely by Ohio State. They dump it. Otten bump set Hernandez. Left side again. Hobson off the block. Out of play. BG wins the long rally. Leads 10-8. A stress point last year from this Falcon squad was, can they win the long rallies? Can they outwork the other team? And a lot of times, not due to work, they lost those. And even in the MAC tournament, overpass, push down. Wayner gets another on the mistake from the Buckeyes. That was always a constant theme. Long rallies, the Falcons found it difficult to win at times. Some due to the lack of Lauren Hovey and that put-away swing. Some due to missing Amanda Otten at times during the season. But a solid start of long rallies for the Falcons so far. Dug out Otten. It's a long bump set to Molnau. Out of system, into the net. Ohio State can't keep it alive. They got 2 touches on the ball, but Molnau perfectly placed an out-of-system serve. Or an out-of-system swing, I mean. It was streaking toward the back line. Falcons lead 4 here in the second set, approaching the media timeout. Hobson targets Gioshvili-Rava. Overpass, big swing! Waynar again. That's a big one, and a timeout called by Ohio State. Wayner forces a timeout off the board for the Buckeyes. Bowling Green leads 5, 13-8 in the second set of their season opening match against Ohio State. Back here in a few minutes on WBGU 88.1 FM.
The Bowling Green Falcon men's soccer team takes on the Indiana University Indianapolis Jaguars at Michael A. Carroll Stadium in Indiana on Friday, August 28th at 7 p.m. After the match, head on over to bgfalconmedia.com for a recap of the match. From Falcon Media Sports Network Soccer Beat, Jacob Kopash.
My mom has taken up going to the park to practice yoga.
My dad's going to a club, but not a book club, a salsa club.
Finding new hobbies comes with age.
My mom has started getting lost and not knowing where she's going.
Becoming lost or disoriented doesn't. Confusion with time or place may be a sign of Alzheimer's. An early diagnosis can help improve the quality of life for your loved one. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
WBGU 88.1 FM, the home of live Falcon volleyball coverage.
All season long for Bowling Green Volleyball, their matches can be found on WBGU 88.1 FM Bowling Green. You're listening to that station right now. We're in Columbus, Ohio at the Covelli Center, the home of Ohio State volleyball and wrestling and a smattering of other things that they use this center for. A pretty new building, a very nice building, and the Falcons have made their mark early. High swing from Hannah Jones points to the Falcons. They extend their lead to 6 over the Buckeyes with a set in hand over Ohio State. A big start for the Falcons. Sloppy play from the Buckeyes, looking to rebound after a finish of 16th out of 18 in the Big Ten last season. Gioshvili-Rava upped by Otten. Here's Hernandez, right side. Molnau off the block. Man, Molnau looks very strong in the second set. 6 for 11, 3 errors, but she's been very good. The media timeout right now, and we won't take it. Just to talk you through this one, we just had our timeout. Again, you're listening to WBGU 88.1 FM in Bowling Green, Ohio. Carly Molnau leading the match with 6 kills on 11 total attacks. Avery Hobson tied for second, 5 kills on 14 attacks. That other 5 is Gioshvili-Rava. She's got 5 on 9 attacks. They haven't found her too much. Govu's kind of been the mainstay on both sides of the court. She's got 13, some high leverage swings as well. She's only seen 3 to the floor, and she's got 5 attack errors. Hannah Jones has seen 4 kills on 17 attacks, only 3 errors, so she's got a positive hit percentage, but it's 0.59 on the stat sheet. The Falcons with 3 aces, 3 service errors. Ohio State's yet to find the floor on their serve, and 6 service errors for them. Last season, 147 aces for Ohio State, 232 errors. Compare that to 30 more aces for their opponents across the season and 1 less error. So they were quite starkly outserved. The Falcons even worse so. Almost 200 aces, but over 300 service errors. And their opponents with 1 more service ace and about 50 less service errors than Bowling Green had. 15-8 after the media timeout. Avery Hobson, right side of the serving stripe. Again, the Falcons been pretty solid today at that. 3-3 aces and errors. Ohio State back on the floor looking to mount a bit of a comeback that they need following the 15-8. Back left side, Gioshvili Rava again. They really do not have an answer for her, and I'm quite surprised that they haven't started feeding her more than they already have. 10 attacks for her, 6 kills. She is the 3rd most attacks of any Buckeye, behind Govu and behind Hannah Jones. Govu, a new player, so it doesn't factor into that, the fact that she's unfamiliar to the team. They've been practicing for a while. She's not a new player time-wise to this roster. Probably just has to get more swings. Otten to the left side. Bozic centers under it. It's kept up easily by Ashvalimov. Off the Buckeyes on a block from the Falcons. That was Molnau and Wayner. Wayner has been a spark plug for this Falcon team. She checks out. 4 for 6 is Wayner. 4 blocking assists. That leads the match. And just her 2nd set ever played with orange and brown. Her first was just about 10 minutes ago. Avshalomov dumps it. Kept up by Hernandez. Otten set, middle court, back set. Carly Molnau tips it over. Gioshvili Rava's blocked. It's upped by Ohio State. Gioshvili Rava, another one. Now to the middle. Otten to Wilford. That's her first attack of the game. Now to the back end. Hobson diving to keep the ball alive. Amanda Otten with a swing instead of a set dump. And it goes into the net. Maybe a poor choice from Amanda Otten, but she was being aggressive. And the Falcons can afford that with a 16-10 lead now. Amanda Otten never really wanted to take the conservative route. She likes to be an athlete, and that's the way Alex Del Piombo, Chelsea Carter, Alexa Wharton, Lucas Pitlack, Dominic Bennett, the entire Falcon bench would want it to be. Otten sets back. Mole now down the line, missed the side, and also missed the blockers as well. It's going to be a point to Ohio State. Gioshvili Rava back again on the Buckeye script, right side of the serve stripe. She targets Avery Hobson. It's an overpass. It'll land outside, and the first ace of the match for Ohio State. They're now 1 ace, 6 errors. The Falcons are 3 aces, 3 errors. Keep comparing them to each other. And a timeout late, right before the serve was made by Gioshvili Rava by Alex Del Piombo. Falcons with a 4-point lead, want to stop the bleeding most likely. We'll take the timeout here from Columbus, Ohio. You're listening to WBGU 88.1 FM in Bowling Green.
Falcon Media Sports Network and BG Falcon Media takes pictures for nearly all BGSU and Bowling Green related events throughout the year. Head over to bgfalconmedia.com to check out thousands of photos and all the content.
What kind of help does the IRS have for identity theft victims?
If you suspect you're a victim of tax-related identity theft, go to irs.gov/identity theft to learn how to prevent potential refund fraud and protect your tax account. At the IRS, combating tax-related identity theft is a top priority, and we are committed to prevention, detection, and assisting victims. And we're working with law enforcement to catch the criminals. For more info, go to irs.gov/identity theft to learn what the IRS is doing to help protect you.
You are listening to Falcon Volleyball on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Falcon Volleyball with a 16-12 lead here in the second set. 25-21, they won the first, threatening to take the second as well, but Ohio State mounting a bit of a comeback, and Alex Del Piombo took a timeout to stop the bleeding for Bowling Green. Gioshvili Rava, another serve. Hobson to Otten. Otten sets, stays on the right side. Carly Molnau dug out, but it's back to Bowling Green. Otten to the left side. Bozic tips off the block, and they got the point. The Falcons did. Right off of Mia Tumen, the setter who was over there on the right. Molnau will check out. Avery Anders a bit late to get in the match. The tandem of Sydney Hernandez, Avery Anders, both freshmen together, obviously sophomores and now juniors together, but very impactful to this defensive unit of Bowling Green, especially with Bozic, as strong as she is. Hobson, who can be strong at times, and a good blocking front from Bowling Green. Did he catch the hands on the swing left side? It did not. It did, actually. Govu caught the hands of the Falcons. And it looks like we might take a look at this. A challenge from Alex Del Piombo, our first of the season. Good time to tell you that we got 3 Falcon Media Sports Network members in the Cavelli Center today. Myself on the broadcast, 88.1 WBGU. Nick Windholtz shooting video. He'll have a highlight package up. That will be on the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel. On the website as well, bgfalconmedia.com. BG Falcon Media on Instagram and Facebook, and BG_FMSN on Twitter. And then sitting to my right now, taking pictures from up in the crow's nest, or the Falcon's nest, I guess, Coyle Withrow, one of our chief photographer this year, one of the best in the business, maybe the best at Bowling Green, I would say so. Nick Windholtz, one of the best videographers as well in our fantastic team. Nick and I will be here tomorrow and Sunday. Tomorrow at 1, the Falcons take on Northern Kentucky, and Sunday at 11, the Falcons take on Fresno State. We're still looking at this, haven't seen a replay on the boards yet, but the Falcons challenged. The call on the floor was that Govu's swing got a touch from the Falcon blockers. And Alex Del Piombo doesn't think that there was one. So both teams' players kind of sitting there trying to stay warm, but cooling off a little bit, taking a breath. 17-13, the Falcons lead right now, but that's with the point standing to Ohio State. So Alex Del Piombo trying to flip that. Again, in her second season as head coach of Bowling Green Volleyball. Spent 2016 to 2024 as an assistant and then an associate head coach to Daniela Tomic. Here's the call. Call is reversed. Alex Del Piombo 1 for 1 in 2026. The point to Bowling Green, it's 18-12. And a 6-point lead for Bowling Green. Falcons now lead in kills by 1. They have 4 less attack errors on the same amount of attempts, which is good enough for a 175 to 088 difference in hitting percentage. The Falcons have also blocked more heavily and served better than the Buckeyes. Left side, big swing. Govu. Man, she's got a big arm. These 2 French players, Gioshvili Rava and Naomi Govu, they have been impressive so far. Govu's really heated up to this match. She's taking a lot of swings. Overpass from Bowling Green. Mia Tumen. And the Falcons in the net. Seems like the point given to Ohio State, not played out in full. So now a 4-point lead for Bowling Green, 2 points straight to the Buckeyes. Serve from Ohio State, floats long. That was Schoonover. She's quieted down. She had a very nice first set. She was 4 for 6 with an error in the first set. Now we're quite a bit of points into the second. Quick math here says 35, 19-14. Not a math guy, don't bank me on that. But Schoonover still 4 for 6 with 1 error. And she hasn't contributed much blocking-wise either. She's very much quieted down. Tumen sets up left side. Govu again. She's blocked, but it falls out of play. Another thunderous strike from Naomi Govu. They didn't have an answer for Gioshvili Rava. And then they found one quickly, and now the go-to of this match, Govu, has started to find one again. Another service error for Tumen. And you're seeing the arm talent of these Ohio State hitters between Gioshvili Rava and Govu. Schoonover showed it at times. Hannah Jones, the mainstay from last year. Helen Wilford serves. Perfect pass from the back row and a perfect swing from the inside. That was Valentova, the middle blocker from Ohio State in the middle. 20-16. The Falcons still lead by 4, trading points back and forth. Govu will serve. She's got a service error so far. This one high in the air. She spins it toward Avery Anders. Bit of an overpass. Otten can handle it to Hobson. Off the libero and out of play. 21-16, the Falcons lead. Molnau, Wehner, and Hobson in the front row. Hernandez, Bozic, and Amanda Otten in the back row. Otten serves right side of the court. She targets Govu again. Perfect to Tumen. Tumen back set to the right side. Hannah Jones. Falcons keep it up. Another back row attack. Bozic gets it to just roll over. She got mostly net, not even tape. Don't know how that happened. Set to the middle. Wehner missed the court long, no touch. Point to Ohio State. First attacking error of Cecily Wehner's career, but she's still 4 for 7. A .430 hitting percentage with her 4 block assists in this match. Otten to Hobson. She waits a second, lets the ball come down. She was on her way down as well before she hit it. Diving pancake attempt from Hernandez, but it's poked in perfectly by Hannah Jones. And Ohio State within 3 now. Looks like the Falcon bench discussing something, when they're going to use the timeout that they have left. Each team has one in the second set. Hernandez, Otten, back row attack. Bozic off the block, kept in on a swipe by Avshalomov. Now back to the Falcons. They'll reset. Otten to Molnau, and they can't get there in time. Molnau taking advantage of Govu, who was caught in the back row. Seems like she's definitely a target for the Falcon offense, and it pays dividends that time. BG's lead up to 4 again, and they're just 3 points away from putting away the second set. Avery Hobson dug out by Gioshvili Rava. She gets a swing now on the third touch. It's to the Falcons off the block. Bozic off of 2 hands and out of play. Anastasia Bozic, the do-it-all for the Falcons, their Swiss Army knife. Gives the Falcons a 23-18 5-point lead in the second set. Timeout called by Ohio State, their final of the second, and we'll take a break with them. WBGU 88.1 FM and Falcon Volleyball.
Falcon Media Sports Network writes and publishes over 1,000 stories per year, including game previews, recaps, sidebars, opinion pieces, feature stories, and more. Head over to bgfalconmedia.com to view all of our content for every sport throughout the year.
I didn't think it was possible for me to be an alcoholic. I was 24 with a good career. I thought I was too smart and that alcoholism only happened to middle-aged men and celebrities. I thought something else was making me sick, shaky, and afraid to face people. Then I found AA and discovered it wasn't something else, it was alcohol. AA helped me find a new life.
Visit AA.org for more information and download the Meeting Guide app to find a meeting near you.
Check out more coverage from the Falcon Media Sports Network on X at BG_FMSN.
23-18, the Falcons lead Ohio State. A 5-point lead with 2 points to go here in the second set, and the Falcons with a 4-point win in the first set. Bit of an overpass. The Falcons dive to keep it alive. Wehner pokes it over, and it's back to the Buckeyes. 3 touches and a swing from Gioshvili Rava. Otten a one-hand keep up. Bozic a swing from the left side. Diving play by Govu to keep it alive. Hannah Jones tips it over. 2 touches from the Falcons, but they can't get it enough in the air. It falls down past Bowling Green. 4-point lead again. BG just 2 away. Serve coming from Ohio State from the right side. They're in a stack formation this rotation. Hernandez digs it up. Otten was out of play when she set that ball. Cross-court attack, Molnau, and she got it. Just beautiful, a spade behind the 3-meter line and perfectly in the corner between the line and the sideline. A great hit by the Falcon right side. It's set point for Bowling Green. Dug out by Ohio State. Gioshvili Rava bump sets it back to Govu. Now the Falcons have a chance. Otten, Molnau, up in the air. Ohio State dumps it. Another one for Bowling Green. Hernandez the bump. Otten the set, and missed by Wilford. She was swinging in front of Otten. Otten back set it just behind her shoes. And some miscommunication gives Ohio State the 20th point for them. Still set point. Bozic digs it out. Otten up. Bozic dumps it over. Now to Ohio State. Tuman to the middle. An attack. Schoonover. She nails it through. 24-21 now. And Bowling Green uses a timeout. A settle down timeout from Alex Del Piombo. 24-21. Still set point for the Falcons for the next 2 points. After that, it'll fall to win by 2. Bowling Green in this set, 14 kills on 41 total attacks. A .195 hitting percentage with their 6 errors. You compare that to 1 less kill for Ohio State and the same amount of attacks and the same amount of errors. So both teams' offenses have been much better. They've had more swings in the second. 41 for Bowling Green in the second compared to 28 in the first. And 30 in the first for Ohio State. The difference has been the total blocks and has been the serving. 1 ace, 8 errors for Ohio State with 4 total blocks. 3 aces, 3 errors for Bowling Green with 7 total blocks. So 3 more total blocks, 2 more aces, and 3 less errors. Mathematically, the difference in either the first or the second. Bowling Green threatening to take 2 in a row. The orange and brown back out on the court. Molnau on the right side toward the 3-meter line. Hernandez, Hobson, and Bozic in the back. And Otten and Wilford also in the front. Ohio State serving Bowling Green, so the Falcons will get a swing if it's a good pass. Gioshvili Rava to Hobson. Otten set from out of system. Bozic left side, off the block and out of play. The Falcons go into the court switch with a 2-set lead over the Ohio State Buckeyes. Unprecedented from the Falcons. 25-21, Bowling Green wins the first and the second. And we go into the 5-minute timeout before we go into the third. You're listening to Falcon Volleyball here on WBGU 88.1 FM.
BGSU Women's Golf travels east to Youngstown State for the Roseanne Schwartz Invitational on Monday, August 31st. Afterwards, Falcon Media Sports Network's Kevin Hutchinson and Dan Ridenauer will have coverage of the event on bgfalconmedia.com, your home for all BGSU athletics, news, and updates.
Falcon Media Sports Network has video highlights of BGSU athletic events. To see all the moments from your favorite BGSU teams and athletes, head over to the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel or view them on bgfalconmedia.com.
On August 28, 2025, BGSU football running back Cameron Petaway returned a kickoff 97 yards for a touchdown on the first play of the season against Lafayette. The second straight year, the Falcons found pay dirt on the first play of the campaign. Falcon Media Sports Network Sean Connolly had the call of the moment on Falcon Radio.
Dumont kicks it away, and we are underway in the 2025 football season, and it will be returned. Like he's got an opening, and will we see it again? There he goes. He's at the 50. There he goes for the second straight year. He will be gone. 2 years in a row, Cameron Petaway. Touchdown Falcons. Unbelievable.
This has been a Falcon Media Sports Network featured call.
My therapist had told me that I needed to go to AA meetings, but I wasn't sure whether I wanted to go because I didn't want to be an alcoholic. That was not what I wanted to grow up and be. I didn't want to go to AA, but I did, and it wasn't what I expected by any means. It was friendly. I could feel it. I could feel the happiness. It's really great.
Visit AA.org for more information and download the Meeting Guide app to find a meeting near you.
Bowling Green Falcon Volleyball travels to Columbus for a match against the Fresno State Bulldogs on Sunday, August 30th at 11 a.m. Head over to WBGU 88.1 FM for live commentary by Ben Korak. Then check out the recap from Andrew Elkowski on bgfalconmedia.com, your home for all BGSU athletics, news, and updates. The Bowling Green Falcon men's soccer team takes on the Indiana University Indianapolis Jaguars at Michael A. Carroll Stadium in Indiana on Friday, August 28th at 7 p.m. After the match, head on over to bgfalconmedia.com for a recap of the match. From Falcon Media Sports Network Soccer Beat, Jacob Kopash. Now back to more Falcon volleyball coverage on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Back here in the Cavelli Center in Columbus, Ohio, Falcon volleyball with a 2-set lead over Ohio State. That counts 25-21 in the first, 25-21 in the second. Bowling Green won both. A bit of a comeback for Ohio State. They looked more solid in that second set, but they were not able to make the full comeback, and the Falcons looking very solid as they head into the third set of play. Now serving right to left across your radio dial. The Falcons and Ohio State, all time, which is an in-state, highly awaited rivalry matchup, I would say. Across all sports, it's always awaited when Bowling Green plays Ohio State in anything, especially by Bowling Green fans. 0-14 the Falcons are against Ohio State in their history. The most recent two in 2024, a home and home. The Falcons played the Buckeyes in the Stroh Center in a 4-set loss, and then here in the Cavelli Center in a 3-set loss. We had broadcasts for them both. They're on our BG Falcon Media YouTube channel if you want to go back and listen to those. Matches span all the way back to 1977. 1977, 2 in 1978, 1980, 81, 82, 83, 2003, 2005, 2009, 2019, and 2023. And then those 2 in 2024. 14 matches, no wins for the Falcons. They lead 2-0 in the best of 3 sets here at the start of the Jim Stone Challenge. Gioshvili Rava serves for Ohio State, targets Bozic to Otten. Sets from low. Hobson, big swing, and she puts it past Hannah Jones. Good start to the third set. Avery Hobson 7 for 17, 3 errors, 5 digs. Very solid match. Falcons have not had to rely on anybody specifically, but they have certainly benefited from her performance. Jones blocked. BG looks to up, but it hits the pin on the way out of play. It'll be stopped, and it'll be a point for Ohio State. Avshalomov goes back, the freshman out of Hadera, Israel. Named best libero of the 2025 season in her conference back in Israel. Just a freshman and played high school last year. Tip over from Ohio State, and it falls in. A nice play, Mia Tuman in the middle of it. 2-1 Ohio State leads. Those leads have been few and far between. BG keeps it up. Otten bumps it. Hobson from the 3-meter line. It rolls in front of Gioshvili Rava. What a nice attack from Hobson that caught that top spin, and a knuckle just in front of the stone-footed sophomore for Ohio State. Looked like she was expecting a big strike, and Hobson just rolled the top of the ball with her hand. Hernandez, a nice serve to Govu. Bump set back to Govu from Tumen. This one way out of play and clear into the river outside of the Cavelli Center. Goodness, that missed by a mile. It was into the Bowling Green bench. Hernandez back to serve for the Falcons, leading 3-2. Targets Govu again. Tumen back sets to the middle. Jones is kept up by the Falcons. Mole now with a swing. One hand keep up from Tumen. Now to Govu again. She pushes it off the block. Now the Falcons will reset. Otten reverses field to Bozic. Zioshvili Rava keeps it up. Jones again blocked. Spins long and out of play. Bozic's hands right up in the air, perpendicular to the net, instead of pressing over it, forcing the ball down. The setter, Tumen, will go back to serve. 19 aces, 22 errors in the 2025 season. She serves Hobson. Otten sets back, right side. Mole now fires it through. She's been impressive as well for the Falcons, an instant mark. 9 kills on 19 swings, 263 she's hitting. 2 digs, 2 blocking assists, 10 total points, leads the match. Well, now the transfer, just a sophomore from Loyola Chicago. Overpass, BG reaches over, pushes it to Ohio State's side, it falls in. Nobody makes contact with the net, which is an impressive feat in its own right. It's a point to Bowling Green anyway, 5-3. Avery Anders back to serve for the Falcons. Struggled a bit last season serve-receive wise. Actually didn't start the season as BG's second defensive specialist. She gets an ace there. Anders does. That's her first of the season. And her 42nd career service ace. She didn't even start the season. Temple and North Dakota State last year in North Dakota, she did not start. Upset about it, played in St. Mary's and pretty much played in every match from then on. Those were the only 2 matches she did not see a set in, and she played almost every single set since as the number 2 defensive specialist. 6-4, the Falcons lead. Back to serve is Govu. 1 service error, no aces for her. Ball up high in the air, spinning, diving in. Anders digs it out. Wilford pokes it ahead. A tough clear attempt for Ohio State. It's not going to get over. Bozic had the read on it just in case it did. That was Avshalamov, the libero in the back row. Just couldn't get enough on it. 3-point lead for the Falcons early in the third. Again, BG leads 2 sets. 0-14 against the Buckeyes all time. Bozic serves way deep. Looked like it was supposed to knuckle and didn't. And lands well behind the back line, and Ohio State takes a point back. Schoonover gone a little bit cold in the second set. She serves here to Hernandez. Perfect to Otten, perfect to Hobson. The swing blocked. BG does everything right, and still a point for Ohio State. That was Valentova. Looked like Jones in the mix for Ohio State. 7-6, Bowling Green leads. Serves Bozic, maybe going out, but she had to play it anyway. BG has to dump. Ohio State a chance to tie it. Tumen sets up left side. Zioshvili, Rava dug out by Anders. Hobson rolls it into the middle, touches the floor. Govu couldn't get there in time. The Falcons out of system. Looked like it could have been just a dump. And that's twice today that Avery Hobson has hit a nice roll shot that falls right in the campfire of Buckeyes. (8-6) Falcons lead. Wilford a nice serve. Tumen. Oh my gosh, what a play. Valentova. Beautiful set by Tumen. Quickly paced. Valentova looked like she caught the ball on the way up. Fired it through the deep seam, past all the Falcons. Hannah Jones served down the line. Anders thought about it. She touched it before she could pull her hands back, and it goes out of play anyway. Some indecisiveness from Anders ties the matchup at 8, or at least the set. Match still led heavily by the Falcons, 2 sets. Jones serves Anders again. Otten set from the right side. Bozic tips it over, but missed her spot. Now Valentova. Hernandez has to take a step in. Otten with the set. Hobson with the spike, and the Falcons take a point back, breaking the tie. Nice job by Bowling Green, moving quickly enough to get past the blockers. See a lot of times with the Falcons, it's heavily blocked from both sides, even teams that aren't necessarily the best blockers. But that the Falcons avoided, blocking very well with the way Amanda Otten was able to move that ball. Big spike right side, Hannah Jones. That's her 9th kill of the match on her 25th swing. 9-9, the score stays tied. Kali Gioshvili-Rava, the Texas Tech transfer again. Right side, serving from the Ohio State court. Left-right across your radio dial. Otten set to the middle. Waynar misses her attack on the poke. Now to the left side. Go Vu couldn't tumble it over. Otten shut it off. Now Hobson, right side, and caught the blockers, and it falls down. BG tooling the block again. Nicely done by the Falcons all match. 10 block assists for Ohio State. That's 5 total blocks. The Falcons approaching 10 total blocks on the match. Govu digs it out. Tumen sets right back to her. Blocked by the Falcons. Stays on Bowling Green's side though. Ohio State takes the point, 10-10. Much more evenly played third set here. Of course, the score tells that, but also hitting percentage quite high for both sides. Total blocks the same, aces the same, total attacks the same. Just one more kill for Bowling Green. Bozic, the pass high up in the air. Ohio State has to dump it. Hobson to Otten. Otten from center court, left side. Bozic off the block, out the side. Falcons take the point. They will not surrender that tie score. Keep gaining that side out as much as they can. Wayner subs off. Hernandez back in. Hernandez serves Govu, just misses the last line of coverage for Ohio State. Lands long, and the point to the Buckeyes. Just the 6th service error to 4 aces for Bowling Green. 2 more aces, 2 less errors than Ohio State. Serve to Hernandez, digs it out. Otten sets up Bozic. Somebody hit the net. It might have been Amanda Otten. The pass just a bit toward the tape. She had to lean into the net. The net's not currently moving off the recoil. But the whistle blown confidently by the stand official. Otten again, this time away from the net. Molnau off 2 blocks, and it falls down in front of the Ohio State bench. She's so good on the cross court. She's so efficient, Carly Molnau is. She's 10 for her 20 attacks. She'd be hitting 500 if it wasn't for 4 errors. Hobson now the point lead of the match with 12.5. Second is Molnau and Hannah Jones of Ohio State tied with 11. Tumen sets to the middle, blocked by Bowling Green. Schoonover keeps it up. Hannah Jones stepping to the inside. Big dig, Sydney Hernandez to keep it alive. Bozic again. She didn't get the hands and she missed it long. Anastasia Bozic has a sneaky 27 attacks that leads the match. Certainly leads the Falcons as well. Looks like we have a challenge from Alex Del Piombo. She's 1 for 1. Previous challenge also on a tip. The call was reversed in favor of Bowling Green. So the Falcons took a point, made it 18-13 in the second set. That point win gave Ohio State a 13-12 advantage. If it reverses, the Falcons would have the 13-12 advantage. Calls confirmed, no touch. Del Piombo 1 for 2 on her challenges in the season opening match. Bowling Green leads 2-0. The Buckeyes came out to a slow start, now lead Bowling Green at the deepest point in the set that they have so far. Had a couple of leads, 6 of them in the first set, very early on in the first set. No lead changes in the second set. 2 tie scores was the closest Ohio State got to overruling the Falcons. Otten wins the joust back to Bowling Green. Otten sets middle, Wilford to tip it over. Out of position are the Buckeyes. A standing swing and blocked. Otten, Wilford, right side. Say no to Gioshvili Rava. .6'3" is Otten, 6'2" is Helen Wilford. Big blockers. Wilford 8th in the Mid-American Conference in solo blocks, 2nd in block assists, and 5th in total blocks last season was Helen Wilford. Hernandez, big dig, again, reaching down to the floor for that. Hobson dug out by Govu, set from behind the 3-meter line by Tuman. Jones nails it down and brings it back 14-13 Buckeyes. The middle blocker, Schoonover, will go back. She's got 1 kill since the first set. Otten sets up Hobson. Blockers there. They got a touch. Slowed it down enough for Tuman to keep it up. Bit of an overpass. BG got a touch, so it's still live for Ohio State. Hannah Jones spins it in. Bozic digs it out. Otten set to the middle. Wilford in attack. Still upped by Ohio State. Long rally. Won by the Buckeyes and Gioshvili Rava. They lead by 2. 15-13, and a timeout taken by Alex Del Piombo and the Falcons. The Buckeyes looking to make a comeback. They need at least 2 sets to keep the match going. They have none in hand. The Falcons have 2. You're listening to Falcon Volleyball on WBGU 88.1 FM.
What kind of help does the IRS have for identity theft victims?
If you suspect you're a victim of tax-related identity theft, go to irs.gov/identity theft to learn how to prevent potential refund fraud and protect your tax account. At the IRS, combating tax-related identity theft is a top priority, and we are committed to prevention, detection, and assisting victims. And we're working with law enforcement to catch the criminals. For more info, go to irs.gov/identity theft to learn what the IRS is doing to help protect you.
BGSU's men's golf opens the 2026-27 season at Virtues Golf Club in Nashport, Ohio on Friday, August 28th and Saturday, August 29th. Check out the recap by Falcon Media Sports Network's Carter Leonard and a sidebar by Dan Ridenauer on bgfalconmedia.com, your home for all BGSU athletics news and updates. Now back to more Falcon volleyball coverage on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Ohio State forces another timeout for the Falcons. They missed a challenge and now had to utilize a timeout here in this third set. The Buckeyes lead 15-13. I believe that's the largest lead of the match for Ohio State. They've only had 6 leads total before this set started. They've had a couple. It's gone back and forth. They lead 2 now to Bowling Green. On the setter attack, out of system a bit, are the Buckeyes. Hannah Jones a swing, off the Falcon hands, and long out of play. Jones has been on a hot spell, needless to say. 11 for 30. She's been a big piece of this Buckeye offense in the third set. Service right into the net, kills the momentum for Schoonover. Hernandez out, Wayner on. Wilford back to serve, so she'll be caught on the back row. And I'm sure Ohio State looking exactly for that. Bozic and Anders back with Wilford on the back row. Wayner's shown signs of strong defense. Hobson very physical defensively, and Otten, we know about her. Swing pass out, and Giofshvili Rava kept up. Now Hobson tries, misses the hands, and the point goes to the Buckeyes. Now a 3-point lead for Ohio State, 17-14, and another timeout called by Bowling Green. Bit of confusion from the Ohio State bench on why the Falcons called timeouts so close together. They called one at 15-13. Now they called one at 17-14. Avery Hobson takes an attack error. That's 5th on the match. 11 kills on her 26 attempts otherwise. 11 kills for her, 10 for Carly Molnow. She's been quiet since that first time out. Cecily Weiner with 4. That's the Falcon offense so far. Half a block away from 10 total on the match are the Falcons. 5 total on the match for the Buckeyes. Their leader in kills is Hannah Jones. That's their pacifier, their security blanket. That's their go-to. 11 for 30 with 4 errors is Hannah Jones. 7 for Giofshvili Rava. 6 for Govu. 5 for Schoonover. And 4 for Aneta Valentova. Bowling Green has more points, 47-41. Of course, they won the first 2 sets by 4, 8 combined. They trail this one by 3. Hannah Jones goes back to serve. Not known as a fantastic server, but she stays in all 6 rotations generally. 18 aces, 36 errors last season in 2025. 1 ace, no errors though today. This one's neither. Otten to Hobson, and Hobson just missed. She missed wide of the down-the-line attack. She does a good job of utilizing cross-court and line attacks that time. No block. Maybe trying to move around it. Otten sets to the middle. Weiner is blocked. Back to Hernandez. Bump. A spike from Hobson. She's stuffed. Tumen and Valentova. That on the right side. And Bowling Green will use their final timeout. So the challenge and 2 timeouts utilized by Bowling Green. It's a 5-point lead for Ohio State. 19-14, knocking on the door, 20. You're listening to Falcon Volleyball here on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Get hurt in the game? We tough it out. Feel exhausted? We push on. Feeling down? We pull ourselves up by the bootstraps. But there are times when bootstraps aren't enough. When stress gets to us and we need to talk to someone about what we're really going through. So we're going to reach out, because sometimes mental health is not a one-person job. Visit loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
This is Phil Beskid, BGSU Radio Faculty Advisor. You can catch all the Falcon Media Sports Network broadcasts on our 2 stations, WBGU 88.1 FM and Falcon Radio, which can both be found on bgfalconmedia.com. Ziggy.
Check out more Falcon athletic coverage online at bgfalconmedia.com.
19-14, the Buckeyes lead. The Falcons with a 2-set lead in the match. We're in the 3rd here in the Covelli Center in Columbus, Ohio. Back set on the slide is Weiner. It goes off of the libero of Shalamov and into the pin. So it'll be a point to Bowling Green on that technicality. Anders off, Molnow back on. That's some good offensive output for the Falcons. That's back on the court. Otten nearly off of the Terraflex. She runs way forward. Serves to the back row. Govu centered to Tumen. Giofshvili Rava found the seam between Bozic and Hernandez on the back row, and she filled it right through. Now to 20 are the Buckeyes, looking like they're going to take the 3rd set. Testament to how seriously the Falcons are taking just the first match of this season. Only 7 Falcons have played. And the only one that didn't start was Avery Anders. He's not in the starting lineup, but is a constant sub and in for Helen Wilford quite a bit. Otten couldn't handle it on the back row. 21-15. Ohio State running away with this third set. Goes back to Gioshvili Rava. 1 ace, 1 error for her. 10 total points, trailing the team lead by 3. And the match lead now, Hannah Jones. Perfect to Otten. Middle set to Waynar. And Ohio State can't keep it up. A nice spike by Wayner, who's been stuffed a couple of times in a row, although it didn't count as blocks. The point continued. She's back in the scoring column, 6 for 10. Falcons the last few years have utilized their middle blockers so well, very talented ones, and Otten finds them as perfectly as she can. Otten set to the left side, Bozic off the block. Mullen now picks it up, spinning out of play. Now she gets a swing, again blocked. 6 Falcons inside the 3-meter line there. Bozic rolls it into the middle, nice tool. 21-17, BG back within 4. Looking to mount a comeback in this third set. Avery Hobson serves Gioshvili Rava. Hannah Jones misses the block, misses the court. A point back to Bowling Green, 21-18. Last time Bowling Green swept a Power 4 opponent was September of 2021. They swept Notre Dame. This one meaning more to the Falcons. Trying to do that with a comeback here in the third, trailing 3 still. Left side, Bozic off the block, spins away. Bozic looking good, 9 kills for her. Knocking on the door of the third double-digit Falcon, and it forces Ohio State to call a timeout. Bunch of points in a row for Bowling Green. They step within 2 of the Buckeyes, who still lead the third set 21-19. Falcon volleyball here on WBGU 88.1 FM.
BGSU women's golf travels east to Youngstown State for the Roseanne Schwartz Invitational on Monday, August 31st. Afterwards, Falcon Media Sports Network's Kevin Hutchinson and Dan Ridenauer will have coverage of the event on bgfalconmedia.com, your home for all BGSU athletics, news, and updates.
Since the day I stopped drinking, my life has gotten better and better. I can't take any credit for it. It just seems that without alcohol, I think better, I'm more careful with money, I watch what I say, I don't get into trouble like I did when I was drinking. It's scary trying to walk through life alone, and today I have that very distinct feeling that I don't ever have to be alone again.
Visit AA.org for more information and download the Meeting Guide app to find a meeting near you.
Falcon Volleyball on the radio at 88.1 FM and online at bgfalconmedia.com.
4 points in a row for the Falcons. They climb within 2 of the Buckeyes. An overpass here. Bowling Green can't capitalize. To the left side, Govu. BG keeps it up. A dump play from the Falcons now. Gioshvili Rava to the middle. Tuman now to the left side. Govu kept up by Bowling Green. Long to the Ohio State side and out of play. So Ohio State now puts gum in the dam. 22-19. They lead. Trying to continue the match. The Falcons win this third set, and it's over. Otten sets it up. Middle attack. Wayner out the back off of the libero of Shalamov. And another one for Wayner. She's been steady. Been very impressive for just her first sets played in the orange and brown. Still a 2-point set. Hernandez with the ball, left side, ahead of the serving stripe. Now she approaches, serves Avshalamov to the middle, tipped over, back to Bowling Green. A set from the back row. Bozic, swing. Does it go out? It does not. A lucky play from Gioshvili Rava. She pushed it 2 hands back to the BG court, and it landed in. I'm not in a position to get it. Nobody expected that it was going to travel laser beam over the net and be perfectly placed past the Falcons. Sometimes better to be lucky than good, and the Buckeyes take a point back. 2 in a row, 23-20. Winning team serves. Bozic picks it up. Otten sets it back. Molnau, she's been reliable right on the back line. Perfect attack from Carly Molnau. Back within 2 are the Falcons. She checks out for Avery Anders. Need a strong serve here from number 3 in Brown. Targets Govu. Tumen sets up. Jones, she tries to tip it back. Anders dives. Bump set from Otten, poked over by Bozic, who narrowly misses the net. Tumen back. Blockers there. Big stop! Bozic! Falcons within 1. A huge roof by Anastasia Bozic. Helen Wilford on that side as well. Avery Anders serves with the Falcons trailing 1 and leading 2 sets. Approaches the line. Targets Avshalomov. Left side, Hannah Jones, full swing. Hobson jumps, can't keep it up in the air off the block. Set point for Ohio State. The Buckeyes trying to take the third step, prolong the match. Govu goes to serve. 1 error, no aces on her services today. Targets Hernandez. Otten sets, back row attack. Hobson tries to spin it in, upped by Tumen. Bump set Avshalomov. Left side attack from Ohio State. Back to BG. Bozic, rip. Avshalomov up in the air, out of the field of play. Gioshvili Rava. Dump back to the Falcons. Otten after an overpass. She pushes it in. Long rally. Gioshvili Rava again. Misses long. No hands. Point to Bowling Green. And a challenge will be utilized by Jen Flynn Oldenburg, the head coach of Ohio State, to see if it hit a Falcon hand. Didn't get that good of a view. The Falcons pretty confident it didn't with an immediate reaction to the play. And a worthwhile challenge if you're Oldenburg. In her 7th season, she's seen a lot of these matches. Bella Humphrey, pretty much the only sub that has seen the floor for the Buckeyes. They played their starters almost exclusively. Call is confirmed. There was no touch, says the official. Oldenburg 0 for 1 in her challenges. Alex Del Piombo 1 for 2 in match number 1 for both of these squads. And now still set point for Ohio State, but the Falcons have a chance to tie it and force win by 2 to go into effect. Anastasia Bozic with the serve. Anders and Hernandez on the back row 2. Wilford, Otten, and Hobson. Govu kind of misses it. Set to the left side, dump play from the Buckeyes. Centers it to Otten. Otten to Hobson. Hobson off the block, back to BG. Otten in the same spot. Setter attack. Kept up by Bowling Green. Back to the Buckeyes, now back to BG. Otten sets, back Hobson. She rips, down the line, got it! Gioshvili Rava goes immediately over to Jen Oldenburg, possibly discussing a challenge, and nothing's going to be utilized by the Buckeyes. It's tied up at 24 and win by 2 for the Falcons. Bozic serves again, middle court. Targets the back. Tumen sets up. Hannah Jones with a rip. Perfect. Ohio State back up with a 1-point lead, 25-24. Still looking to avoid the sweep are the Buckeyes. The Falcons to do the opposite. The serve, tapes it. Anders keeps it up. Otten goes for an attack. It's back to Ohio State. Gioshvili Rava ends it. 26-24, third set victory, and we'll see a 4th set here in the Covelli Center. Bowling Green with a stout defensive performance in the late goings, a strong offense, and mounted a comeback, but fell just a bit short. couple of minutes. We'll have the fourth set coming at you from Columbus, Ohio, here on WBGU 88.1 FM. Ever wanted to hear what a BGSU coach or player says after a game? Head over to the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel to watch post-game press conferences for all BGSU home volleyball, soccer, football, hockey, and basketball games.
Many Americans have missed regular dental care in the past few years. It's important to see a dentist twice a year to identify any problems early. Taking care of your oral health helps overall health. Brushing at least twice a day with fluoride toothpaste and flossing daily can help prevent oral health problems. For more information, visit hrsa.gov/oral-health.
Did you know Falcon Media Sports Network has video highlights of BGSU athletic events? To see all the moments from your favorite BGSU teams and athletes, head over to the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel or view them on bgfalconmedia.com.
Woodsong's Old Time Radio Hour, brought to you by folk singer Michael Jonathan, is now on WBGU 88.1 FM. Woodsongs is a live audience celebration of grassroots music and the artists who make it, and can be heard right here on Northwest Ohio's community radio station every Monday night from 11 to midnight. Enjoy live music, engaging artist interviews, and more with Woodsong's Old Time Radio Hour.
The Bowling Green Falcon men's soccer team takes on the Indiana University Indianapolis Jaguars at Michael A. Carroll Stadium in Indiana on Friday, August 28th at 7 p.m. After the match, head on over to bgfalconmedia.com for a recap of the match. From Falcon Media Sports Network Soccer Beat, Jacob Kopash. This is BGSU volleyball coverage on WBGU 88.1 FM from the Falcon Media Sports Network.
Back here at the Cavelli Center in Columbus, Ohio, the Falcons won the first two sets, both 25-21. The third set went pretty deep, 26-24. The Falcons mounted a comeback after being down 5 at one point, but fell just a bit short of completing the sweep of the Buckeyes. Still looking to do something that has never been done in program history, and they have a chance to do it here in the fourth set. They're listening to Falcon Volleyball on WBGU 88.1 FM in Bowling Green, Ohio. Nate Hinners, Luke Schroeder, and Kendall Kleinschmidt back in the WBGU 88.1 FM studio, getting us on and off the air today. A couple of trainees as well, so thank you to you guys for getting Bowling Green volleyball on the airwaves today. Also thank you to Coyle Withrow, Nick Windholtz, our videographer and photographer here in the Cavelli Center. Ohio State starts it off with a swing. BG keeps it up. It's Bozic, a blast. That's off the block. Otten back to Bozic. She'll try it again. Peeled up off the floor by Avshalomov. Another big one. Caught the inside. Bowling Green wanted to reach over the net. Alex is going to give a talking to the stand referee, but the first point of the set goes to Ohio State. Buckeyes have not yet fully out-hit Bowling Green in a single set. Off the fingertips goes Wilford and out of play. Wilford's been a little bit quiet offensively. That's her second kill on her sixth swing. Cecily Wainer taking a decent bit of that attacking privilege away. 7 kills on 11 attacks, just 1 error, and a .545 hitting percentage. Tooman sets to the middle. Schoonover Gets it dug out, but in toward the press bench and lands outside the line to gain. Ohio State takes a lead back. Bowling Green's back row, Bozic, Anders, and Hernandez. Hobson, Otten, and Wilford in the front. Otten way out of position. Going to be a dump try from Hobson on a jump and a swing, but it goes into the net and doesn't cross. So 2-point lead for the Buckeyes. Buckeyes had 6 leads in the first set, 3 leads in the third set, including the one that ended it. Otten bumped to keep this up, but not in play. 3-point lead for the Buckeyes, who've really settled into their stride as well, as you can tell by the score. But they played much better in the second than they did in the first, and leaps and bounds better in the third than they did in the first. And there's a mishandle back row by Bozic. Opponent runs against Bowling Green are nearly always started by the defense and serve receive. I'll try another one here. Anders not perfect. Couldn't get Otten in system. Here's Hobson's attack. It's upped by Ohio State. They are in system. Gioshvili Rava caught the fingertips of Otten or Wilford. Somebody on the right side of the Falcons' side of the net. 6-1, the Buckeyes lead. The Falcon bench ready to call a timeout pretty soon, I'd imagine. Anders keeps it alive just for a second. Timeout's called by Alex Del Piombo to settle down her serve receive. That has given Ohio State a 7-1 lead here in the fourth set. BG leads 2-1. Very early goings of the fourth. Bowling Green, Ohio State here on WBGU 88.1 FM.
This is Phil Beskid, BGSU Radio Faculty Advisor. You can catch all the Falcon Media Sports Network broadcasts on our 2 stations, WBGU 88.1 FM and Falcon Radio, which can both be found on bgfalconmedia.com. Ziggy.
Return to Radio Freedom with 88.1 FM WBGU. Northwest Ohio's community radio station offers local programming from the morning show to eclectic music shows from a variety of genres and local sports coverage. So, keep it locked in right here on 88.1 FM or stream us live 24/7 on bgfalconmedia.com. 88.1 FM, WBGU, Northwest Ohio's community radio station.
Check out more Falcon athletic coverage online at bgfalconmedia.com.
Dump play from Ohio State off of the Falcons. Hannah Jones with a swing, the outside hitter for the Buckeyes. It's Bowling Green. A back row attack from Bozic, misses hands and sends long. BG has allowed 3 reception errors, or they've taken 3 reception errors, given 3 aces to Ohio State in this set, and it's a 7-point lead for the Buckeyes, which I believe is the biggest of the match for either side. The Buckeyes trailing by a full set. Otten back set, Wilford on the slide, and they'll break the ice like that. They get their second point on the board, their 1st and 6. And Wilford gets credit for it. Wayner in, Wilford back to serve, Hernandez off for the time being. Govu digs it up. Valentova from Tumen is a crazy good connection. 5 for 10 is Valentova. You couple that with Aaliyah Schoonover's 6 for 13. Middle blockers have done a lot of damage for Ohio State in this match. Anders digs it up. Playable for Otten. She sets it back to Wayner on the slide. She perfectly places the ball right past Govu. Naomi Govu's caught on the back line a lot. She's been targeted quite a bit. Otten serves, the libero, overpass, kept up by Wayner. Bump set, Otten to Hobson. Thundering strike, couldn't be held up by Gioshvili Rava. Hobson gains another. BG climbs within 5 with 3 points in a row. Hobson up to 13 on her 34 attacks. Not the greatest percentage. Otten tapes her serve but doesn't roll it over. It's her second service error of the match, and the service is starting to even up. The Falcons trailing and aces by 1. 2 fewer reception errors as well. Starting to even from what it was in the first 2 sets. Wayner stuffed. Left side, Govu and Valentova. Big physical outside hitter and middle blocker combination. Just rejected. Gioshvili Rava targets Bozic. Bump set Hobson, back to Bozic. Long attack. Couldn't get it to fall. 12-4. Falcons trail 8. Another timeout utilized by Alex Del Piombo. She's out right now. And the Falcons stumbling a bit on the defensive side. Back row not doing great for Bowling Green. They trail 8 in the 4th set, winning the first 2 sets, losing the 3rd set. And we're here in the Cavelli Center watching them in the 4th set. Hobson leading the Falcons, 13 kills. Molnau behind her with 11. Wayner with 8, third for the Falcons in their 45. 45 as well for Ohio State, who trailed in the first 3 sets in attacking. Nearly every category, the Falcons were even or better. And now in this 4th set, 4 for 7, no errors is Ohio State. 4 for 12 with 4 errors are the Falcons, and they've added 3 reception errors to the mix. Amanda Otten, a very good setter. But when her feet aren't set, there's only so much she can do to facilitate the offense. First 3 sets, her feet were set almost every time. She was always inside the 3-meter line. She was almost always on the Buckeye logo in the middle of the court, which is where you want your setter to be, obviously, where she can work to the middle, she can work to the right side, she can work to the left side. But since the back row has not put her in positions to succeed. Hobson there, again another overpass. Hernandez can't peel up the rejection. 13-4, and again, the back row hurting Bowling Green. Lucas Pitlack, one of the assistant coaches, a back row player in his own right. Chelsea Carter, libero at Samford back in the day. Both of them trying to figure out what needs to happen. BG with a clean swing. Molnau off the block, out of play. See, when you get Otten with her feet under her, she can make something happen. Molnau also incredibly efficient. 12 for 24, that's 500. Less her 4 errors, taking away from that hitting percentage. Hobson serves right side. Up to the stripe. Govu barely digs it up. Tuman back row attack. Hannah Jones, nicely done by Otten. Wayner keeps it up. Bozic off the block. Free play back to BG. Otten sets, 3-meter line. Back. Molnau from the right side. Doesn't land. Another one. Hobson back there keeps it alive. Otten to Bozic. Bozic off the block, off the back of the head of Valentova, and down on the Buckeye side. BG brings it within 7. Better back row play from the Falcons on that point. Otten, all 3 of her set attempts, I believe, were inside the 3-meter line. There's Hobson with a service ace. Her second of the match. Aaliyah Schoonover leads the match with 3. All 3 of those in a row. Dugout, Ohio State sets up the left side. Govu blocked. Is it in the air? No, it's not. That was Molnau and Wayner with strong forehands up on the right side of their net. Molnau not the biggest, just 5'11". Not as big of frame as Cecily Wayner or Helen Wilford is, but can still block with the best of them. Blocks a little bit late on this. Hernandez keeps it up, but it's going to fall out of play on the other side of the net. So the Falcons have no play on that ball, although Hernandez got there in time. 14-8, the Buckeyes lead. Next point will be the immediate timeout here in the fourth set, first team to 15. Hernandez to Otten. Otten back sets. Wayner. When that's working, it's really working. Wayner 9 for 15 on her attacks, a .430 hitting percentage in her first match playing in orange and brown. Hernandez serves, trailing 5. Tooman sets up left side. Govu again. Hobson keeps it up. Otten back in the air. Joust at the net, and the point to Ohio State. Somebody touched the cage, and it was a Falcon. Media timeout comes around. Ohio State leads 6. The Falcons have stopped the bleeding a little bit, but now trying to form a comeback and take this baby in 4 sets. BG trailing 6 here on WBGU 88.1 FM.
The Bowling Green Falcon men's soccer team takes on the Indiana University Indianapolis Jaguars at Michael A. Carroll Stadium in Indiana on Friday, August 28th at 7 p.m. After the match, head on over to bgfalconmedia.com for a recap of the match. From Falcon Media Sports Network Soccer Beat, Jacob Kopash.
Be part of the WBGU team. Volunteer with WBGU FM in a variety of roles, including on-air, promotions, social media, music selection, and much more. Positions are always available to students and the local community. For more information, visit the WBGU Facebook page. Volunteer with Northwest Ohio's community radio station, WBGU 88.1 FM. The return to radio freedom.
This is BGSU volleyball coverage on WBGU 88.1 FM from the Falcon Media Sports Network.
The match feeling a little bit better for the Falcons, more attainable. They're playing better as of the last couple of points. Instead of trailing 8 as they were at one point, they're only trailing 6 and playing better defensively, getting better swings and climbing closer to the Buckeyes. Falcons lead 2-1 here in the Covelli Center in Columbus. The Jim Stone Challenge hosted by the Buckeyes. With the ball back, Govu dumps it, and the point to BG. They're waiting on that double touch. Govu apparently doubled. Molnau off. Anders back to serve. Nothing coming from the Ohio State bench. Dump plays are always what they look for those double touches. Govu victim of one there. You try and set it over, you hit it twice. Well, the double touch much more infrequently called now than it was a couple of years ago. Blocked by the Falcons, falls in the field of play. Couple in a row for Bowling Green, 15-11. Within 4 and certainly reach for Bowling Green. Anders on the left side. From behind the strip. Now she serves, targets the libero, Avshalomov. Set to the left side. From the right side was Tooman. That was a long set. Jones couldn't nail the kill down. Up in the air. Govu attack from the right side. Upped by Anders. One of the best athletes on the floor at any given time. She shows it there. Avshalomov back to Govu. Anders again upped. Otten with her feet under her. Hobson back row attack, kept alive. Long rally. Tooman sets up middle, didn't get it over. Wilford and Otten were there in the face of Schoonover, and she couldn't get it over the net. Timeout called by Jen Flynn Oldenburg and the Buckeyes. 15-12. They still lead, but trying to slow the Falcons down as much as they can. Oldenburg in her 7th season as the head coach of Ohio State. When she took over, they finished 4th, 3rd, and then 3rd in Big Ten play. and a couple of NCAA tournament appearances as well. But the last 2 seasons, Ohio State has finished 14th and 16th. Only 2 teams worse than them in 2025 in the Big Ten. And Ohio State had the least regular season wins of any team in the Big Ten, although there was 2 teams below them in conference play. Oldenburg also serves as American Volleyball Collegiate Association president. She has since May of 2025, and she'll, I believe, give up her role in December of 2026. I believe that's about how long it lasts. She also serves a pretty key role in the scape of college volleyball. Been around for a while as well, although she comes to Ohio State from being an athletic director of Pittsburgh Elite, a very prestigious volleyball club program in Pittsburgh, which she managed for a while before her job as Buckeye head coach. Avery Anders serves. The Falcons trail 3 in set number 4. They'll lead 2-1 in straight sets for the first 2, and then Ohio State taking the most recent. Hernandez set from behind the 3-meter line. Bozic diving as Tumen to keep it alive. Left side, Govu, rejected. Otten and Wilford. A collective 12 feet 7 inches with 4 hands up. Anders continues to serve. Hers have been solid. 4 in the back row for Ohio State. Avshamalov, the main one. Taking this one on an overpass and forcing it back over. That was Mia Stoller, the sophomore that just checked into the game. And she immediately overpasses. She'll stay in, continue to play the back row. She rotates to the outside. Avshalamov will stay more in the middle. She's going to take almost anything even close to her. Hannah Jones back as well, a pretty solid player. Avery Anders thought that one through too much and threw it into the bottom of the net. 16-14, Ohio State leads. But Bowling Green back within a manageable distance of pulling off a 4-set victory. You don't want to go to the 5th set if you're the Falcons, especially with the momentum that Ohio State has generated over the last set and a half. Wilford on the slide, nails it down. Right in front of Bella Humphrey. Saw that slide a lot from Jessica Andrews. In 2024, it was Alexis Mattil with a middle attack, Andrews on the slide. Last year, a lot of Andrews on the slide with the absence of Lauren Hovey, and then Wilford from the middle, and now you're seeing both Wilford and Wayner use the slide, and both use the middle attack as well. Big block for the Falcons, falls in! Otten and Wilford again, tie it up at 16 all. A fabulous blocking duo, approaching 15 total blocks are the Falcons. 9 blocking assists for Wilford, and 7 blocking assists for Otten, leading the match by far. Humphrey digs it out. Tumen sets it up. Back set to the right side. It's Jones. Upped by Bowling Green. Hobson with the swing. Block kept up. Falcons couldn't get over in time from behind the official on the stand. Ohio State takes the lead after the tie. Avshalamov subs out. And Schoonover back in. Sorry, that's Aneta Valentova. Anders barely keeps it up. Otten set from her knees. Hobson kept over, and it's up, and it's over the net, and it's outside of play. Hobson utilizing that arm, something we saw a lot with who now is playing Swiss pro volleyball, Lauren Hovey, of just the insane arm talent that she displayed, and defensive players that literally couldn't wrangle in the spike enough. Well, Hobson can do that at times. Service error from the Falcons, 18-17. The Buckeyes lead again, approaching 20. Nadia Tabak in the game for Bowling Green. And now back in comes Anastasia Bozic. Habak, the only other sub besides Avery Anders to play today. Setter dump from the Falcons. Didn't work. It's back to BG. 2 touches from Wayner. Now Hobson. Big attack kept up. Jones. Athleticism from these Buckeyes. They stay alive. Back to the Falcons. Otten. Middle. Wayner. It's up. Jones again. Set left side. Did it hit the hands? No! And it lands long. Gioshvili Rava missed. Momentum for the Falcons now. 18-all. Carly Molnow back in the match for the Falcons. Anders off. It's Molnow, Hobson, and Wayner next to the net. And Bozic, Otten, and Hernandez in the backcourt. Otten's serve goes long. The Falcons accepting more service errors than Ohio State for the first time in this match. 5 aces, 10 errors for Bowling Green on their serves. 5 aces, 9 errors for Ohio State. In complete contrast of what it was in the first set and a lot of the second, of Bowling Green leading the service charge. Otten sets up Hobson in tight, kept up by Govu. Here's Tuman to Jones. Jones is kept up. Hernandez to the right side. Molnow from deep, about the 3-meter line, and enough room for Ohio State to get their arms under it. Otten resets. Hobson down the line. Got it. Big right arm from Hobson. Right down the line, ties it at 19. Anyone's point for the first to 20. Hobson serves. Targets Avshalomov, the libero. Left side, didn't get it over the net. Gioshvili Rava missed her attack. Hobson will go back with a 20-19 lead. Bowling Green was down 8 at one point in this set. All the way back to leading 1. 2 sets to 1. The Falcons lead in the match. Tuman sets back. Blocked by Bowling Green. Wayner and Bozic this time. It's everybody for the Falcons. Ohio State uses a timeout. 21-19. The orange and brown leading the Buckeyes. 2 sets to 1. They lead in the match. 4th set here in the Cavelli Center and on WBGU 88.1 FM.
For all BGSU sports news and updates, follow Falcon Media Sports Network on Twitter X at BG_FMSN and head over to BGFalconMedia.com.
I always had to be so good, no one could ignore me. Carve my path with data and drive. But some people only see who I am on paper. The paper ceiling, the limitations from degree screens to stereotypes that are holding back over 70 million stars. Workers skilled through alternative routes, rather than a bachelor's degree. It's time for skills to speak for themselves. Find resources for breaking through barriers at tearthepaperceiling.org. Brought to you by Opportunity at Work and the Ad Council.
Ben Korak, Andrew Smith, and the Falcon Media Sports Network crew covering the Falcon volleyball team.
The season opener for Bowling Green volleyball has been a heck of a match. 21-19, the Falcons lead in set number 4. They lead after winning the first 2 sets 25-21 each and losing the third set, although tight, 26-24 and extra points. So they got to hold on to this 2-point lead and be the first to 25, and they'll do something they haven't done in program history. Avery Hobson serves the libero. Tuman goes for the setter dump and does it effectively. Hernandez couldn't wrangle it in. Ohio State reaches 20 and within 1 of the Falcons. The freshman libero Avshalomov. Left side serves Hobson. She keeps it up. Otten behind the 3-meter line. Bozic pokes it center court. Jones keeps it up one hand. A swing. Did it miss wide? It did. Falcons take the point. No touch, say the officials. And Jen Oldenburg is going to call a challenge, arguing that it hit the arm of the Falcons on the block. So Bowling Green will communicate what they felt to Alex Del Piombo so they can address the coming points. The official will come over to the replay center, and he'll take a look at this, and Ohio State will hope that this is converted back to them, ties it up at 21. Attacking originally was from Nevaeh Gothier, a sophomore from Shelby, Michigan. 124 kills in 63 sets last year. That's the first time we've seen her so far. Then it's the first swing that she takes that gets the challenge. Official still taking a look. The other two reviews that have been confirmed were pretty quick. This one taking a while. Looks like he's looking for a different view. I got a pretty good view of the monitor here. What they're trying to figure out. So what they're reviewing right now, it looks like, is whether the ball landed on the line or outside the line. The original call was that it missed the hands of the Falcons and landed outside of the sideline. That's the right sideline if you're looking from the back of the Bowling Green court. An incredibly important point as the Falcons up 22-20 with the point standing to them. That's 2 points closer to winning the match. So official understandably taking his time, as he should. Falcons with a 22-20 lead as it stands right now. Hobson 15 kills, Molnau 12. Anastasia Bozic has 10. The Falcons hitting 205 on their 52 kills. Ohio State 49, hitting 138 on the match today. Now they've done better across the entire match in serves, although it started slow. They've been outblocked by almost double, 16 total blocks. 8 total blocks for Ohio State, 15 total blocks for the Falcons. And that's counting 3 total blocks for Ohio State in the first set, none for Bowling Green. Official still taking a look. You're listening to Falcon Volleyball here on WBGU 88.1 FM. A heck of a match to start the 2026 season for Bowling Green Volleyball. Call stands and the points to the Falcons. Big call that is. That's the second challenge and the second miss for Jen Flynn Oldenburg of Ohio State. Bowling Green in good shape. 22-20. They lead in the fourth set. Lead in the match 2-1. Hernandez. This swing in the middle. Blocked by Wilford. That's a solo for Helen. 23-20. Ohio State just cannot break through this Falcon block in the fourth set. 5 total for Bowling Green. Hernandez dug out. Tooman tries to force it over. It falls in, and the point to Ohio State. Right off the hands of Bozic, who didn't press them over the net. 23-21. Falcons trailing as much as 8 in this set, now leading 2. Served by Tooman. Bozic digs it up. Otten sets it back. Molnau gets stuffed. Goodness, what a block by Hannah Jones on the left pin. That is a whale of a stop and a perfectly placed one. Tooman serves, 23-22, the Falcons lead. Bozic up, Otten up, back to Bozic. She tries, middle of the court, dug out, off the net. Ohio State tries to keep it up. It falls outside, no touch from the Falcons, and set point for Bowling Green. Avery Anders going to come back in the game. Carly Molnau will step out. Anders, Hernandez, and Hobson, the back row for the Falcons. Helen Wilford, Amanda Otten, and Anastasia Bozic, the front court. Match point, 24-22. The Falcons leading 2-1. Avery Anders with the ball, high in the air, serves it deep. Peeled up by Ashfalimov. Now to the left side, blocked by Bowling Green. Ohio State resets, Hannah Jones, upped by Hobson. Wilford knocks it down! For the first time in program history, the Falcons have defeated Ohio State in volleyball. An unbelievable match from Bowling Green. The first 2 sets and the fourth. "14 wins in a row for the Buckeyes against the Falcons since 1977. And in 2026, Bowling Green gets it done. The season opener for the Falcons ends in hurrah. A 4-set victory for Bowling Green. There's not much of a better way you can start a season than with a statement win over a Big Ten program, one that you haven't beat ever in the history of your school's volleyball team. Avery Hobson leading the charge. Carly Molnow the same. Anastasia Bozic, Cecily Weiner, and Helen Wilford, who delivered the final kill. Just her 5th. She was 5 for 10. As the orange and brown fans here in the Cavelli Center applaud to the tune of the Ohio State alma mater. Scarlet and gray are defeated by the orange and brown. Final score in 4 sets, 3-1 Bowling Green. 25-21 in the first, 25-21 in the second. Ohio State won the third, 26-24 in extra points, and the Falcons coming away with a 25-22 victory in the 4th set. Take a quick step back, and when we come back, we'll have head coach Alex Del Piombo here on the mic, and she'll talk us through the match that we just witnessed. You're listening to BG Volleyball on WBGU 88.1 FM.
What I know about courage, I learned from my adoptive mom. She said sometimes you just gotta hold on and know we'll get through this. Mom, we are so high up. Hold my hand.
No, you hold my hand.
Here we go.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more. This message is brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the
On September 28, 2025, BGSU women's soccer's Lizzie Boltnick scored her first goal in 2 years in a 4-0 win over Central Michigan. She later earned a brace in the win. Falcon Media Sports Network's Henry Costco had the call of her first strike.
That's around Boltnick. Going to have a lot of space here on this side. She's going to be on the breakaway. The 2-on-1. Borgman has to get back towards the goal, and she's got to put it forward over the head of Borgman and in. Lizzie Boltnick. Unbelievable. Taking advantage of Borgman being up near the midfield line.
This has been a Falcon Media Sports Network feature call.
Now back to more Falcon volleyball coverage on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Back here in the Cavelli Center in Columbus, Ohio, the Falcon volleyball team with a 4-set victory over Ohio State for the first time in program history. We're joined now by head coach Alex Del Piombo. Coach, how does it feel?
Oh, feels good. Feels good. More than anything, I'm so proud of the pieces of that game that we had to overcome. We had moments that it wasn't great and somebody else stepped up. I love looking at our stat line and multiple people are in double-digit kills, multiple people are in double-digit digs, multiple people are in the high block percentages. That's what we've been talking about nonstop as a team, is the unit. And I thought that through the highs and lows of that match, that's what shined, and that's what has me in the fields. It's always good to beat a Big Ten team. It's always good to beat an in-state rivalry. But more than anything, I'm just so proud of how hard this team worked, and they get to experience this from that hard work.
That numerical storyline, I think, is going to be defined by the blocks. I mean, you look at 16 total for you, 9 total for them. It was a big blocking game overall, but that seemed to be the difference, especially in those first 2 sets and the fourth, especially. That was 6 total. How did you feel that blocking, especially with some new faces, went today?
Yeah, I'm so proud of that. We've worked on it a ton, and I thought that a lot of that discipline came from it. And again, that whole unit of when the block was set up and they hit around it, our defense dug. But special people. I mean, Cecily Waynar hasn't played a point in 2 years, and she puts up 6 against Ohio State with 9 kills, hits 467. She's been doing nothing but working her butt off every day, you know, training in the dark, winning in the dark when people aren't watching, and to see her shine like that, especially from a blocking standpoint, is amazing.
Seemed like a stumble that came about maybe late in the second, but definitely in the third as well. You guys were down big, came all the way back, and made that third set tight. But then more of a storyline, that fourth set, down 7 or 8, I believe, early on, and then coming all the way back to leading and having that momentum going into the final points. What was that switch that you guys made? What did you have to do to get the team to come back out on top?
Yeah, well, I think that Ohio State served a little bit tougher. They kind of got in the flow, and we were letting the ball play us, and we called a timeout, and, you know, we said errors are going to happen in volleyball. That's part of this game. But what we're not going to do is let anything that they're doing control us. So let's go back to what we can control. We can control our unit, our details, how we're communicating, our response to errors, and the team showed the fight we knew we had.
Certainly. I mean, you've talked quite a bit in this preseason about unit, playing as a unit, and the details. What would you give a review of today's game as what this does for the unit as a whole, but also how the team was able to focus on the details to come out with a win over the Buckeyes?
Yeah, I think that the biggest piece of the unit and the discipline is that it doesn't make one person feel like it's all on their shoulders. If you do your job and I do my job, then it's us versus the other team, and then you put all 20 of us versus an opponent, and that's kind of where that synergy and kind of that cohesiveness happens. And again, we talk about it daily, but it made those harder moments when Ohio State was pushing back, playing really well. They had a couple unbelievable swings. It made them feel less big because somebody else was able to better the ball. And it didn't have to be one person's show. It was Bowling Green Volleyball show.
Coach, go celebrate. Good luck for the next 2 days, but certainly celebrate this one as well.
All right, let's get NKU.
Thank you so much. Tomorrow, Northern Kentucky, Bowling Green plays them at 1 p.m., so tune in to WBGU for that. Postgame coming up in just a minute. You're listening to BGSU Volleyball on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Looking for a BGSU Athletics talk radio show? Tune into the Zig Zone every Sunday at 4 p.m., where a panel of Falcon Media Sports Network members discuss the hottest BG sports topics. Only on WBGU 88.1 FM.
If you're a veteran looking to file for your service-connected benefits through the Department of Veterans Affairs, don't go it alone. AMVET's highly trained service officers stand ready to walk you through the process at VA regional offices around the country, helping you to navigate the complex VA system free of charge. With new presumptions for Agent Orange exposure and other conditions, AMVETS can offer you the advice you need to finally receive all of your earned benefits. In 2009 alone, AMVETS helped process more than 65,000 claims and appeals, securing more than $410 million in benefits. To find your nearest AMVET service officer or to learn more, visit amvets.org.
Check out more coverage from the Falcon Media Sports Network on X at BG_FMSN.
Emotions high in a very good way here at the Cavelli Center, the final match of the day, and the Falcons still on the court greeting the orange and brown family and friends that are in here to watch them and watch them do something for the first time in program history, and that's take down the Ohio State Buckeyes. 0-14 the Falcons were heading into today, and they come away with the season opening victory over Ohio State. Now 1-14 are the Falcons all time, and Ohio owned by Bowling Green. The Falcons 25-22 in the final set, 25-21 in each of the first 2 sets, and dropped the middle even though it had to go to extra points. The biggest names of the match, Avery Hobson, one of them, 15 kills for her, 12 from Carly Molnau, 10 from Anastasia Bozic. 3 players for the Falcons in double digits, and another one who played her first match in the orange and brown today, her first regular season match, Cecily Waynar, knocking on the door with 9 kills in the match on her 15 swings. The Falcons also took an incredible amount of points from their blocking. 16 total blocks the Falcons had to start off their season. You compare that to Ohio State's 9, which is a high number. 16 is unbelievable, led by Helen Wilford, who had 9. That ties her career high. 7 from Amanda Otten, pretty close to hers as well. Cecily Wayner sets her career high at 6 blocking assists as well. Falcons 53 for 149, a 201 hitting percentage for the Falcons. Ohio State 50 for 150 and a 127 hitting percentage for the Buckeyes against the Falcons. They were led by Kali Zhioshvili-Ravi, 13 kills on 34 attempts, a 206 hitting percentage. Hannah Jones also tied with 13 kills, 42 total swings. She had more, 1 less error, and a little bit worse of a hitting percentage, but led Ohio State in total points with 15, and then a couple of kills smattered around throughout the rest of the Buckeyes. 38 assists from Mia Tuman, the setter, one of the best setters in the Big Ten last year. Started out pretty strong in her sophomore campaign for Ohio State against Bowling Green in 4 sets. Amanda Otten, though, was better. 2 kills on 10 swings, 39 assists for her setting, 1 ace, 14 digs for another double-double for Amanda Otten. She also had her 3.5 total blocks on her 7 blocking assists. The Falcons come away with a 4-set victory over Ohio State in the season opener in Columbus, Ohio at the Ohio State's Jim Stone Challenge. 25-22, the final of the 4th set, and 3-1. The Falcons take the victory over the Ohio State Buckeyes. Make sure to tune in tomorrow to this same station, WBGU 88.1 FM, for Bowling Green versus Northern Kentucky. Again, that'll be at 1, 15 minutes prior to game time. We'll do our pregame. That time subject should change because this is a quote-unquote tournament format, so the start time of the match might be pulled back a little bit, but assured it will be on WBGU 88.1 FM. And then Sunday, 11 a.m., Falcon Media Sports Network will have another call. Bowling Green versus Fresno State, the final of opening weekend for Bowling Green Volleyball. That will be at 11 a.m., 15 minutes prior to game time, again here from the Cavelli Center. Nick Windholtz, Coyle Withrow, thank you both for doing your thing here at the Cavelli Center. Nick Windholtz, our videographer, Coyle Withrow, our photographer. If you want to consume their content, bgfalconmedia.com, BG Falcon Media on Facebook and Instagram, and BG_FMSN on Twitter. That's where you can go to see anything that's social media posted, any previews, recaps, sidebars, videos, press conferences, highlight packages, everything that goes through Bowling Green Volleyball and BGSU Athletics. Make sure to follow those handles, as well as on Sunday, the Zig Zone every Sunday at 4 p.m., BGSU Sports Talk Show from 4 to 6 p.m. Make sure to tune in into that, and most assuredly, this Ohio State match will be talked about on the Zig Zone this coming Sunday. Also, a special thank you to Nate, Luke, and Kendall back in the Cooling Center studios and WBGU 88.1 FM studio for getting us on and off the air tonight. And make sure you hear a historic day for Falcon Volleyball. And from myself, the entire Falcon Media Sports Network, and Bowling Green Volleyball, we say good night, and we'll talk to you tomorrow here on WBGU 88.1 FM.
This broadcast has been a Falcon Media Sports Network production. For more BGSU sports news and updates, follow Falcon Media Sports Network on Twitter X at BG_FMSN, BG Falcon Media on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, and head over to BGFalconmedia.com.